Hello everybody, and welcome back to another exciting day of HouseRivalries Nations Division. We have the Helsinki Masterminds versus the Vienna Legendary, and followed up with that we'll have the Oslo Knights versus Stockholm, Sweden soon. All of the far are amazing teams. We do have the Helsinki Masterminds and the Vienna Legendaries coming into this, actually fighting for the #1 spot. This is kind of like the match of the week because they're both 2-0 right now, and they're the only 2-0 teams. So this is the time where we see who will reign as the Supreme Ultra Mega Champion country, region, nation, team, division. As we get in here, Bills, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I mean, it's a shame that someone has to fall, but someone at this halfway-ish point must pull ahead, and one of them must become a come from behind story.
True. There's got to be some underdog, and I think we already kind of established who the underdog is with the decks that we've seen. Like, Helsinki just you know what, they're feeling feisty today, I would say.
Yeah. So we have for Helsinki, no surprise. Just go ahead and establish real quick. All priests have been banned. Both teams brought priest and bought priest, and then both teams said no priest. So we're gonna see exactly 0 priests today. But what we are gonna see from Helsinki is like you're saying, the feisty lineup of aggro warrior, a miracle rogue, and a zoo warlock going up against the perhaps more standard. It'd be safe to say more standard at this point. Quest druid, quest shaman, but then a mech hunter. So a little bit of feistiness from Vienna as well. Feeling a little mechanical hunter.
Yeah, not too feisty, I would say though, because the mech hunter has a lot of things similar to the Highlander hunter, which is something that happens sometimes. Like the utilization of death rattles in the meta in general has been kind of really strong, and the death rattle mechs with the hunter is actually still pretty good because it allows you a lot of options. And if I'm not mistaken, they're playing Zul'jin, so you can replay a lot of the good stuff that you had along with the hunters that could complement it.
So they've actually cut all of the legendaries except for Leroy out of the deck. They top out at missile launcher.
Wait, not even the mech legendary that the hunter has?
Not even Flark, what's his name? Blastmaster Flark or something like that.
Boommaster
Flark.
Yeah, but like there's also like a, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a legendary mech that also replays like it activates a death rattle and becomes a death rattle.
the necro mechanic.
Yeah.
I think that may be an epic, but yeah, none of those either. We're topping out at missile launcher, and that's it. Ziliak's missile launcher is at the 5 most expensive cards are Leroy, Ziliak's, 2 war gears, 2 missile launchers, and then everything else costs 4 or less. That was 6. That was 6. 2 + 2 + 2 is in fact not 5. It is,
what?
I know.
Bills, my whole school life has lied to me.
Yeah, I've been living a lie this whole time.
Oh my God.
Ever since I was 5 or 6, who knows? I don't.
Is 6 even real?
Yeah, there's no way to know. But it looks like starting off, we're actually going to see the rogue. We're going to see the pirate miracle, Myra's unstable element, damage your face rogue against the quest druid. Now this quest druid, not playing Nomi, tops out at King Phaeorus.
So this is the more aggressive one. Sometimes Nomi and Phaeorus go hand in hand, but I mean, Phaeorus is just one of the most aggressive lineups. Again, I like to phrase invisible threats. This druid's almost the definition of that. And it makes a lot of sense also why Helsinki chooses to queue up their rogue, because it's just like something that's so fast and aggro. I mean, it's not... Rogue hasn't been in the meta for a while now, so like it's not really the best option a lot of the times, but I do like this read into it, especially with the last tier standing format. It can actually really just start getting some serious momentum. Not a lot of combo activators, so it's a little more minion heavy, but I think I can still see the appreciative value of it, as there's not a lot of taunts for the druid, which I think is what they're trying to get out of the way first. So this could be something good for them.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past that this druid just struggles with early game tempo, and this rogue, they said it's gonna get some creatures on board, and it's gonna do it before that quest is complete. So we actually see a nod to that with the Worthy Expedition choosing a druid of the Scythe.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, and the real question will be: are they going to choose to play that on 3, which will have all kinds of ramifications? Their quest will slow down. So this is the decision point. How much can they afford to play behind the curve
Yeah.
versus just surviving, right?
And
They, like you said, their threats come online later. If they can make it to later, King Phaoris, Cenarius, Oasis Surgers, everything
I think you,
becomes spicy.
yeah, I think you could play it if you want to sacrifice the innervate. It never feels good to sacrifice the innervate. But in reality, I think it's you can't really deal with it any other way than having a minion. That Fairy Dragon's actually a really good tech choice, I think, from the rogue, just because there's no way to target it with your Wrath, your Starfall. There's really just nothing you can do about it except put a minion on the board. So I think they really feel like, I think this is a great pressure point coming in from Helsinki. So let Vienna probably feel like they need to play Rush. Okay, so they're going to play the Innervate just to keep the quest going, which I like a lot. And this does empty out their hand quite a bit, but it should be pretty much the best option they had, because it was either that and, you know, it's like, honestly, it's the lesser of two evils, because then you have a developing Henge Clan Thug. It's been a while since I've seen it. I totally forgot the name, but ooh, swipe up the top.
Gotta swipe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, since they chose to spend their Innervate last turn to further the quest, like you were saying, they can't use it this turn to get their Oasis Surger out. And you can't let a Henge Clan Thug
I got bad spills.
just survive. Is there another? Oh no! I'm looking in their hand, and I think I just saw.
There's one hovering right over there, buddy.
Well, we might just see Oasis Surger on 5 before the quest has been completed, just to stay alive. Huh?
Not the worst thing.
No, not the worst thing.
Well, okay, Vils. Then here's the question: what do you value more? Do you value? Well, actually, Double Wrath would allow them to keep the quest going.
That's true. They could 3 and 1 to clear off that
and
thug.
that would still give some draw power. It's like using both Wraths don't feel good, but you got it at this point.
Yeah, you gotta choose life. You gotta.
Oh,
all right,
no.
There's King Phaoris. That's a little early.
I guess it's good you got it out of the way with a free draw, but.
Yeah, and you know, Vienna would very much like to complete their quest and then go into. Oh my gosh, I assume you're the waggle pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good. They have some choices though. They
that's
can.
Gonna be a lot of lackeys.
Yeah, they can choose to just go ahead and waggle pick and start putting that forward, applying that face pressure to just try to prevent the Druid from doing. Because what Druid wants to do. Oh, Druid hasn't even had a chance to finish their quest yet. They got delayed.
Yeah, it's one turn off. But you know what's actually, this is pretty good. This allows them to control the amount of damage that is going to be output, because the combo activators within the hand, it's just backstab, so there's no develop. Oh my god.
Huge draw. That is a huge draw.
Yeah, the defender is going to be a huge draw indeed, but backstab,
although they don't want to nourish. They have to nourish for cards if they choose to nourish this turn. Otherwise, it's an Oasis Surger. Maybe they still Oasis Surger this turn.
I think you actually do anything, because you don't want the combo activators to happen, so you don't want to develop on board. They're gonna just choose to place a defender just to save some of their own face, which is fine. But you do have Hidden Oasis later on, but I guess they don't feel like they're gonna live long enough for that. Nourish is going to be huge next turn.
Oh, this is also huge.
No, you can't top that right now. That's unfair.
This is a fantastic time for Helsinki Masterminds, and a miserable realization, because that 5 health was actually going to make, you know, Helsinki's board situation pretty awkward, except for the backstabs. We see the backstabs in hand. So Helsinki had ways through it, but now, I mean, it seems like you have to Oasis Surger, but this pick is going to keep picking you in the face for 5 damage. And either one of these is an unfortunate thing to bounce back for Vienna. So if they bounce the 2-1, that just means they get to do more rushing, charging stuff.
They have to play the Oasis. Like, if they had Nourish at turn 8, they could potentially gone into a swipe. But, like, you have to do that, and at least they can only attack once. 7 damage is going to be huge. It's going to be ridiculous, and then Evil Miscreant's just going to give so many lackeys.
And here we go. Witchy Lackey is fantastic. Rush Lackey doesn't quite get there this turn, but we can actually. This is okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, this pick isn't going to hit that Oasis Surger. No, we're just gonna go ahead and Miscreant and see what else we can find. Damage
Cobalt
Lackey.
and Faceless.
Yeah, and 2-drop Lackey. So now they can choose how they would like to deal with this Oasis Surger. Gonna go ahead and check and see if they get a Bluegill Warrior off of here, or maybe a Taunt Poisonous.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
Actually, they can rush the Poisonous.
They could. If they're
and
feeling
still evolve the miscreant if they want to.
if they're feeling spicy about it, well, they wouldn't. They would only be able to rush or evolve. They don't have enough mana.
Oh, that's right. They have 1 mana. I thought they had played the Lackey already. That's
Oh yeah, no, it was super fast play.
Okay, so this is going to go ahead and handle the other half of this Oasis Surger.
Hidden Oasis needs to come down. Bees is okay choice. Now they have the option to clear something. They're looking for a swipe. There it is!
Okay, they have the swipe. They can swipe. They
board.
can innervate Oasis Surger. They really just have to decide what, do they want to have the remnants of a 5/5 on board, but let Helsinki keep a creature, or swipe, and then that's all they get to do this turn?
Or do you hold on? Yeah, and also, if you want to hold on to the swipe, what else are you trying to account for that swipe?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, so this will be the second swipe, which maybe allows Helsinki to turn on the gas, but it's not like Helsinki was letting off the gas at any point this game. They've been all gas. Yeah. So kind of an awkward turn here for Helsinki now. They have some Lackey options that they can do, and they're going to be able to send 2 damage face, send an additional 2 damage face, dagger face. But it's not quite enough. They need just a pinch more pressure. Is that the Mist Caller? Wait, what is that? The Mist Wraith. Okay, it's really just a 4 mana 3/5. I don't think there's a whole lot of echo going on in this rogue deck, but
no.
All right, how do you survive this turn? Nourish allows you to draw 3 and still Anubisath Defender if you want to do.
You're at the point where you could also hit an Oasis.
Yep, need to just rip another hidden Oasis. Need to rip a hidden Oasis if they can find it. The Innervate will allow them to.
Starfall's pretty big.
Yeah, Starfall definitely help get a bees out there. They can actually Anubisath Defender and Starfall if they want to, which would be doesn't prevent them from dying to burn though. They didn't find that key hidden Oasis like you were talking about. They would love to heal for 12 and develop a 6/6 taunt.
Yeah.
Just to try to get out of range of eviscerates. Because right now,
they're dead to top deck, but they're not dead in general.
Yeah. And so they're going to clear the board.
Well, actually, they're not dead to top. Well, yeah, because.
Yeah, eviscerate would.
Oh, Fairy Dragon. Okay.
Fairy Dragon does not do it.
We're still living, Bills.
Yeah, they can choose to sap this defender if they want to, though I'm not sure that this might just be a redagger pass turn for Rogue. Either that or sap and just try to get those dagger hits in.
Maybe Fairy Dragon, because all you can do is trade, because it's not a targetable creature, so they would have to deal with it physically. So you could technically like backstab Fairy Dragon, redagger, and then basically if you want your defender to trade, you don't know the Oasis in hand, but I'm kind of talking about the strategy as though I don't have caster vision.
Right. Yeah, you got to figure. You've seen both nourishes come down, so the number of things you have to play around is getting untenable. Yeah. And if you're Rogue, you got to figure out. It's time to start playing to your outs here. Get that. If you set their health to 2 and they can't heal, then that means SI7 agent wins the game.
Oh, they're just gonna try to go for that phase.
Yep. And so now they're.
As well.
And they're going to go ahead and play out, like you're saying, play out the Fairy Dragon. So they have... This is lethal. Can you you can't target the Fairy Dragon with the bees, can you?
No, you can't target anything.
You can't...
So all you can do is trade. So basically, their option is to go double Oasis Surger, get a really wide board and say, let's see how you handle this. Or play defender as well and be defensive and hope that there's no deadly poison in hand, because they also need to play around the deadly poison as well. We only saw 1, but there's 2 of them in the deck, I believe.
Yeah, and right now, exactly, like you're saying, deadly poison. The other South Sea deckhand, if they don't taunt, is lethal. Eviscerate's lethal. SI7 agent is lethal. Leroy Jenkins is lethal. There's Myra's Unstable Element would probably be lethal.
Wow.
That's none of those.
That's very fortunate.
Hooked Scimitar. Well, they decided to develop the taunts, so some of those options were not actually available. But yeah, this is not a very inspiring play here for Helsinki. They've kind of petered out at the very end. They need some help from the top of their deck. They need just a little. They don't need much help, but they need a little bit of help. Starfall.
Oh my gosh, no hidden Oasis.
Is
I
this
mean,
Feoris? Just go ahead and rip this Feoris.
let's see. You get three. You get a sprite, two 3 manas. I think there. Let's see. Is there anything in the pool with lifesteal with either 3 or 5 mana?
There's that pumpkin harvester guy. It's like a 2/4 with lifesteal
Oh
that
yeah.
switches between 4/2 and 2/4. I think he costs 3 mana. Can't
Okay,
think of his name off the top of my head.
that's fine. It's not meta.
Oh, there's the ghostly charger, that priest or not the paladin minion. It's like a 5 mana 3/4 rush lifesteal.
That's true.
Phantom charger, something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, those are options.
And I guess on 5 there's Zilliax. Maybe you get a Zilliax.
Let's see.
And,
Do you get the full value if you play this? You have a chance of actually not getting both 3 manas or actually the 5 mana because of the innervate. They're just choosing to go beast, clear this out, have 1/1 on the board, and get a second and a defender. This makes a lot of sense though.
yeah.
And then Crystal Merchant just speed up the draw. I like this.
Yeah, they were gonna be stuck with 1 mana left over anyway. Might as well. They could use some more cards. They could
use
definitely.
some-
They want to find.
Oh
the
no, that's the worst draw.
That is not great for the Helsinki masterminds.
Remember when people
Man.
wanted to nerf Van Cleave? And now, like, Rogue
Yeah.
is not even existent anymore?
Yeah, and a couple of I remember here. I think it was Firebat was saying that he's been cutting Van Cleef from his rogue deck.
Wow.
Dang.
Whoa, Drew just clutched that out like nobody's business. Vienna
Goodness,
Legendaries. Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't give that one more draw. Were they dead on board?
They were basically dead on board because there was no way to taunt, there was no way to get rid of it. There was like even the backstab wouldn't even get rid of that because literally you were like I think like at 15 or 16 health and there was literally like 2 Oasis Surgers, 2 defenders, some bees, and some extra chip damage. And like
Yeah.
on top of that, let's see, you knew that both swipes were used, but that's roughly about it.
Yeah, and if they were dead on board, then I understand the concede. And actually, they probably were. Now that you're reminding me of all of the different minions that were there,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, they were probably most likely.
I
dead on
don't
board.
think they wanted to play the song of dance of literally trying to top deck because it was literally either they were gonna get Eviscerate or they were gonna get Hidden Oasis, and like if Hidden Oasis happened, they were so out of the league of like even trying to win.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, they just ran out of gas. But here comes Zulok, something that has a very high chance of winning this. Unfortunately, they didn't get the Magic Carpet, which is like one of the nice things that you can get like a little bit of extra damage to get up there and develop some more on the board. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, the Flame Imp is still a great way to start.
Yeah, getting this Flame Imp on one. It's a Flame Imp and Northshire Cleric are the 2 last bastions of amazing 1-drop cards that. It's a 1 mana 3/2. This imp is going to get in for, unless Vienna decides that they want to innervate out their bees next turn, which maybe it depends. I mean, this is another thing where the zoo is going to try to put you under pressure, and they're going to develop the board early. No, they're going to Crystal Merchant and then innervate to keep the card draw and the quest taking along.
I like this a lot.
And but they might get stuck having to. Play off their off curve or throw just
There
this
it
card, the
is.
Zephyrs, basically. There's the what are these guys called? The beaming sidekicks. 2 beaming sidekicks are gonna make this setup. I mean, this imp is gonna get out of swipe range pretty fast. If Helsinki decides to commit both beaming sidekicks to it. And honestly, I would I would prefer my flame imp keep dealing damage and not get swiped to death.
Hey, I got you, friend.
And here it is. The old and that imp has
36
got in
for
for
1
6
mana.
damage.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Now all of a sudden, Bees doesn't work. Bees does not clear off this imp. You can clear off one of the beaming sidekicks if you want to, but you're still not advancing your quest. You can throw down the Zephyrs as a 3/2, or you can play this Wrath. None of them feel amazing right now.
I'm not worried though.
As the Druid?
Yeah, I'm not worried as Druid. I mean, I have a hit Oasis in hand. At some point, that sucker's going to come down very quickly, and I'm just going to have a 6/6 up against a bunch of small minions. And you can Grim Rally and buff all your things you want, but it's still just going to be 1 or 2 attack. Like, Flame Imp's still going to be the strongest thing on the board, even after the Serpent Egg goes down as well. So they potentially just... Looks like they're going to just do an extra 3 damage, and... I don't know what the call is for here. I feel like you could have just used that to draw. But I guess, hey, you don't really want that high health and there's no way to heal it, so may as well keep things stable enough that a Starfall will get rid of this the moment they top deck it.
Yeah, and like you're saying, that swipe in hand already allows them to go ahead and clear this imp next turn if they want to.
Oh, that's very true as well.
Oh, and bees actually puts it in bees range.
Oh, and
That's
gives
probably
you an
what
extra
they're-
bee.
Yeah, yeah, and so Helsinki, I would assume trying to think of a reason not to play this Neferset Thrasher, because that seems really good. The other option is hero power, play whatever you draw. All right, Neferset Thrasher, and just gonna keep on hitting this druid in the face. So now, now all of a sudden this swipe.
Ooh.
Ferocious Howl would allow them to draw and gain armor. I would assume this
Complete
bees
the
is still
quest
going to
as
come
well.
down. Yeah, I would assume this bees is still killing this imp though. Otherwise, they have to send the bees at the Neferset Thrasher and lose their merchant to clear it, and then they still haven't dealt with this imp for another turn.
That's quite true. They have not.
So what other possibilities are there? They could swipe the imp if they want to, but that would delay their quest pretty significantly. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see the bees come down. Deal with the imp. They'll get to keep a 1/1 on board. What do you do with this? They're actually gonna start knocking some of the health off these beaming sidekicks, getting ready for a swipe potentially next turn.
Yeah.
All right, their quest finally complete. They're sitting at 19 health as well. 5 mana for the Helsinki Masterminds. This is a tough situation because part of me wants Solarium, and then any 1-cost cards you play, you still get to play your Sea Giant. But you can miss pretty badly with this Solarium if you get like Leroy, Diseased Vulture, the other Neferset Thrasher, the only copy of Magic Carpet they have in their deck, the other Serpent Egg, Evil Genius. They have so many things that don't cost 1, I guess is my point. that
Yeah.
if they Solarium and miss, then they don't get to play their Sea Giant this turn.
I'd be okay with Snip Snap. If you're thinking of board clear coming, you get back some 1/1s and you can work with that. Play with the Sea Giant is also pretty big too. I don't think that's a bad turn at all.
No.
Yeah, an 8/8's pretty okay.
Yeah. 4 mana for an 8/8. It's pretty good.
I work with that.
I'm in for that. And trying to decide Helsinki is if they would like to trade into this bee.
Would they like to trade into this bee?
Looks like they would not. Looks like they would. Okay, so they're actually going to, in a way, help out Vienna with their swipe.
Huh.
If Vienna would like to commit their swipe this turn. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much swipe or they're going to have to swipe and trade in their Crystal Merchant into the 4/5, and then that still leaves a gigantic 8/8 in the way. But they don't have enough mana to use their big spells yet. You know, you talked about the Hidden Oasis. They don't have the mana for that yet. Nourish, even though it's online, they don't have the mana for it. And so if they don't swipe, they have to pay full price for the Anubisath Defender. And this is what they've been angling for the past couple of turns. Very consistent. They're still going to take a ringing 8 damage to their face, but...
Ringing damage, but it's not the end of the world. Again, Hidden Oasis. Usually when I have a Hidden Oasis in hand as a quest druid, I like to think of that as an insurance policy for going a little more aggressive and taking more chance. Because getting back 12 health is pretty huge. Technically, you're also getting back 18 with the 6/6.
Yeah, they are dead.
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. Alright, maybe not that much of a risk.
The Solarium, well, the Solarium happened to hit that Direwolf Alpha was key, but there was also a lot of potential things they could hit off the Solarium. I am a little surprised that they decided... Oh, no, they're only playing 1 Soulfire. They knew they wouldn't hit Soulfire. Okay. So if they were playing 2 copies of Soulfire, then there was a chance.
I think that was a top deck, actually, instead of actually coming from the Solarium.
Yeah, I was just thinking if they needed to double Soulfire to win the game, but they don't. They're only playing the 1, so they didn't have to worry about it.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Well,
Yes.
Bills,
So this druid
it just happens.
falls. Yeah, that druid falls to the warlock, and it's just, druid plays behind. Their whole plan is to play behind on tempo in the early game. Like all of their removal is 1 mana behind what these aggressive decks can do.
Didn't get a Starfall either, which is kind of unfortunate for them.
Yeah, the Starfall would have allowed them to clear out that Neferset Thrasher without having to spend their Crystal Merchant. Maybe could have got him extra draws going, although they still would have died. They would have needed to hold on. They would have needed to know that they had to hold on to an Innervate or something.
Yeah, really, they would just have to kill the mountain giant in some way and start working on that, but there was just not enough mana to do everything in the world to get rid of that 8/8. So I guess an early 8/8 goes to show you that you could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, that giant just on his own got in for a bunch of damage. Actually, you only had to hit the face once. Honestly, if I got hit in the face by a giant, I would probably die on the spot as well.
Yeah. Nobody can fault anybody for that. All right, Bills. I want you. I'm gonna let you take the spotlight again, and I want you to talk about this quest shaman and to talk about the tech choice that maybe you're not too big of a fan of, or why you see the value in doing it differently.
Yeah, so this is a quest shaman that is playing mostly the usual suspects, double evil killer rat, of course, sludge slurpers, the evil totems, both novice and questing engineers and explorers. Both copies of mind control tech could potentially come in huge this game. Sandstorm elemental as well can be very helpful. They're actually opting to play 2 copies of former champ and only 1 giggling inventor, which we were saying before the show, I'm a little surprised by. Just because in my experience, I found former champ to be one of the weaker cards in the deck, and I oftentimes play only 1 or 0. So if it comes out huge for this, I'm ready to be convinced that I'm wrong. But in my very limited anecdotal play, I mean, I've been less than impressed by my former champ.
We definitely talked about this. We had like a nice little in-depth conversation before the cast, and we both I think definitely there's a lot more options to evolve with the former champ, but then again, you shouldn't be focusing on the evolve because all you get is witchy lackeys and mutate. So then we're like, wait, maybe because this is a lackey heavy deck, you shouldn't even try to focus on the evolve because witchy lackey is only really just one option. Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
Little old Tess Greymane.
Yeah, all right, fine. But
still, it's a 2 mana 6/6 that got to rush in for 3. They can't clear this magic carpet, which you were talking about last game, being quite good. Yeah. And that 6 health flying, that's just hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, but long story short, it's we think that with the giggling inventors, you get 2 of them, you get an easier time without doing the battle cry trigger twice thing. You get enough board space and protection to develop and work on your lackeys to basically do whatever the hell you want. And we think 1 7 mana minion is a lot more valuable than having 2 5 mana minions, and it makes a little bit of sense, especially with just there's not as many. Well, I don't know. There's not as many aggro things that the former champ can really deal with. There's so much aggro that can outspeed it. It's a former champ. It's retired.
he's retired.
Yeah.
He's done floating or stinging. He's float like a butterfly,
sting like a bee.
Sting like a bee. And that's you get the double sting like a bee if you successfully do the hero power. So I felt like I had to. Sting like a bee. Yeah. So if coming down for Helsinki, they're able to turn this into a 4/7 Nephroset Thrasher. Are they going to make this into a 7/4 Nephroset Thrasher and really just start jamming this damage face?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, they're going to clear Tess with it. Interesting. It's both of these decks would like to have control of the board if they can. I mean, 7 damage to the face just feels so good. But I guess both of these decks would like to have control of the board if possible. And if Helsinki can hang on to their magic carpet. So here we see coming up for Vienna Legendaries. Man, it's almost like they wanted to demonstrate the entire discussion we were having. 2 former champs in your hand doesn't really do anything for you right now. Now, granted, if this was a former champ and a giggling inventor, you'd be in a similar situation. But sitting on 2 out of 6 for the quest right now is just not. It's not turn 5. You're hoping to be quest complete or only 1 or 2 ticks away. And Vienna has had the unfortunate circumstance that can happen sometimes of sort of somewhat drawing their deck upside down and facing a deck that's interested in killing them until they're dead. And we see both mountain giants in hand for Helsinki right now. They can play one of them and just put an incredible amount of threat on the board. Vienna was not able to clear their board last turn.
Yeah.
So I think Helsinki is starting to get the read that they have an awkward draw. It looks like Vienna's trying to deal with. They have 3 cards in hand, and they chose to play just 1 former champ last turn. So if that doesn't tell you that they have an awkward sort of upside down draw, I don't know what does. All right, so the weaponized wasp coming into hand, but none of those lackeys. We were talking how much of this deck thrives on lackeys and has so much lackey generation, allegedly, in the deck. You know, 2 Sludge Slurpers, 2 Cable Rats, 2 Totems, as well as the ability to Bog Slosh any of that stuff. And then with the Shutter Walk, get those activations again, and Burst a Lynch in some of that back into your hand. None of that has made itself available to Vienna. They haven't hit any of their card draw. They haven't hit any of their lackey generators in a while. And so they're sitting on a former champ and a weaponized wasp, and only three or four quest ticks.
Zoinks.
Zoinks indeed. Vienna trying to decide if they would like to send this to face or clear the Sandstorm Elemental.
I like face.
I'm also feeling face. The
Let,
only
let
thing
your
that really...
opponent deal with it. They'll take care of it.
Yeah, they'll have to trade. The only, I guess, Helsinki is considering the possibility of a Barista Lynchen top deck, maybe.
Yeah.
Bog Slosher top deck that would allow this elemental to come back down. Okay, actually gonna go ahead and
My
say,
goodness.
yeah,
Another 1 damage would be absolutely crazy. Plus the overload would be so hard to deal with as the Warlock.
yeah. And Ethereal Lackey.
They could get Hex off the top, and that could be big.
Yeah, that would allow.
Ooh. Lava Burst still helps in some way.
They have a 3/3 on board, right? They have a life drinker. So yeah, a Lava Burst and a life drinker would kill a giant.
That's one way of doing it. It's a lot of overload, but I think at this point you can't say no to it.
Yeah. And their weaponized wasp is online with the quest complete.
That's
so now...
true. They could actually no, they can't clear the board, but they'll be fine. Oh, they want to get rid of the healthier one. That's fine.
Yeah, next turn they'll be able to double weaponized wasp and then trade a 1/1. That's an unfortunate draw.
So,
life tap.
Yeah,
life tap for sure.
Yep. Oh, that's better.
Interesting.
Not by much though.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a diseased vulture face for 8. Huh, this has turned a little... This double Grim Rally in hand is not doing Helsinki any favors.
Oh.
Okay. So we can double weaponized wasp, but that's all of our mana. It seems like you have to double weaponized wasp this giant. You can't keep taking... Yeah. Can't keep taking 8. But then... Yeah, you can't kill the vulture. And this vulture represents so much potential board pressure moving into the later stages of this game. Because every life tap... You know Helsinki's going to life tap every turn.
At some point, well, the Voidwalker's gonna help get some of the evil genius off if they wanted to use that. I think, though, however, they're getting into a situation where they gotta start life tapping some stuff.
Oh, for sure. Hey, there he is again.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Oh man, old Van Cleef he just wants to play.
Oh,
he's gonna
man.
get eaten by an evil genius.
This poor guy. I used to be great.
Yeah. I was it every day.
Hey, don't you remember when I was a 10-10?
Yeah.
Ooh, Demonic
Okay.
Project could actually throw off some yams on the side of the shaman. That could be pretty good. It's only...
Yeah, is Bane of Doom playable? I can't tell. I can't see how much mana they have left.
No, it's 5.
It's not. Curse of Weakness going to allow them to trade off their board into the Vienna board without actually taking any damage.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. And so that would make this a 0/1 Sludge Slurper and a 1/3 weaponized wasp.
You're going face.
And the Curse of Weakness, unlike the Quicksand Elemental, the Curse of Weakness persists for the enemy's turn.
Oh my gosh, they needed that so badly.
Yeah, this double Life Drinker.
It's huge.
Yeah, they can actually double Life Drinker and then Bog Slosh their Life Drinker if they want to be able to, replay it again, get even more healing.
You gotta.
Yeah, the other thing...
5/5.
I mean, you could hero power former champ. It's just and then die. All right, so here we go. Double life drinker, and then I'm interested to see what they bog slosh because they could slosh the sludge slurper.
No,
okay, they're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna get that healing moving forward, and that's now a gigantic life drinker. All right, Helsinki could use lethal damage.
Let's see. Serpent with double Grim Rally is pretty good.
So yeah, Kobold Lackey to the face, Grim Rally the Lackey. Wait, is this lethal damage? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yeah, no, that's lethal damage.
Okay.
That's it. Oh man, Zoo. Zoo just runs through the druid and runs through the shaman.
Zoo's really good.
Yeah, that's one of those decks that we haven't really seen get brought that much, at least for the stuff that you and I have gotten to commentate. Thanks for having me, by the way. I don't thank you enough, and I thank you for
it's
throwing this
fine.
tournament and having me on.
I'm trying. That's all. I just want to make people happy, and I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having a lot of fun too.
Yeah, trying and succeeding.
Aw.
But yeah, Zoo it's got a real, just like a real blue collar kind of game plan. Get on the board, control that board,
Yeah.
and then beat them to death.
I remember when
And,
I started playing Hearthstone and I couldn't really afford much of a collection like I once was able to. It was such a good option because so many of the cards are cheap. Like, economically, lower mana minions and lower mana cards are just cheaper. Like, there's not like a lot of low mana there's not a lot of low mana legendaries and stuff like that. So like a majority of the stuff is super cheap. So you can like basically, if you have 3k dust, you can make Zoolock, and it was pretty much good to go because a lot of the stuff would either come from just natural collection and just earning cards for free by doing tavern brawls and things. So honestly, it's just like I think with just the way that the meta shaped out, usually like Zoolock has come into a place where like when the meta was uncertain, aggro decks were the thing. So right now we're going through the aggro phase of Uldum, and I think at some point we're going to see more control, but at the moment, this is a really great time for Zoolock to be alive.
Yeah, and they're really good. Zoo is just a really consistent deck also, because like you're saying, it plays so many low-cost cards, which just works so well with life tap that you
Almost
don't
always
have very
curve.
many. Yeah, you very rarely have those upside down draws that we kind of saw that Shaman deck get subjected to in the last game. But this is a very different animal. This is a mech bomb hunter
I wonder what
that tops out at 6 mana.
That's a
It's
pretty
not
huge
even
draw.
Yeah, so being able to, so this is a deck that's going to be able to also get on, like, play to the board and be able to assert itself a little bit better than the previous two decks. And Voidwalker coming in for Helsinki. They have the choice of either life tap, or if they want to, they can play out the Abusive Sergeant. If they could, for example, Abusive Sergeant the Wolf, and then Grim Rally the Abusive Sergeant, if they want to do something like that and make this a more resilient Voidwalker, get more damage to the face potentially.
Yeah, get in there and fight Maggot.
Yeah, get in there and fight, maggot.
Roar,
Yeah.
roar, roar, roar.
Yeah. Abusive Sergeant is another one of those cards that's still played despite being nerfed a long time ago. That used to be a 2/1. Used to be okay to just play that on 1.
Oh yeah, it used to be a 2/1. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's
Like 100 years ago.
Oh, that's actually pretty huge. Venomizer could help out a lot with this situation. It's actually could clear the board right now. They could magnetize one of the Joey bots if they wanted to, and then they're living. Unfortunately, they do lose that poisonous, but I don't think it's the end of the world, and they still keep 2 1/1s on the field, send one to face. It's looking pretty good. And
Ooh, that's a Sophie's choice right there. Do you play out the
Okay.
vulture or do you draw? You're gonna play out the vulture and just assume that since you just saw
They're gonna
a
be
Venomizer
punished.
get played. Yeah. Oh yeah. The answer is available, and Vienna's gonna once again remain ahead on board.
oh no!
Okay.
Oh my
It's time to-
god!
Time to tap into something that
Hey,
costs
Bills.
1.
Oh
Hey.
wow!
Yeah.
I feel like we're
The skill. That was the skill tap. Get in there and hit a 1, drop it, brings itself back to life, and gives you
Oh, we
something.
get the double glitch!
Oh, perfect.
Look
They're
at
just,
this!
It's a family.
They're multiplying bills.
Yeah.
How are they doing that?
We're gonna see, I would assume, an Ursatron draw with the fireworks tech this turn.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay. And both of these decks running pretty low on in-hand resources, although we also see some high impact stuff where Helsinki's Sea Giant just keeps getting cheaper and cheaper.
I think they're aware of the Sea Giant possibilities, and I actually think they might clear the board rather than go face.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just go ahead and take this 1/1 and this 2/2 off the board. You
Yeah.
know there's 2 lackeys in hand, and then something that Helsinki hasn't been able to play for a while.
Yep.
And so, this is the 5 mana turn. You saw the Disease Vulture come out already.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh. Well, I guess
Okay.
I guess you could Titanic Evil Genius. Life tap, see if you wanted to see get anything first.
Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna go ahead and take the 2 lackeys. They're gonna leave that 2 mana open in hopes that these lackeys are.
Well, Faceless makes
Okay.
life a lot easier.
Yeah, this one's gonna come down, and whatever comes out.
Whoa!
Oh, 1/3 rush lifesteal. Okay.
Okay, Scale Hide comes in.
Maybe go ahead and. So where do you put this extra health? I wonder, because you can put the, you can play out your other Titanic lackey.
I would give it to Scale Hide.
Yeah, just make sure that you continue to heal off it. Instead of
Yeah.
the 3, that's pretty awkward for this Ursatron.
I mean, they have to trade into it, so you know you're at least getting 1 extra health. War Gear.
Okay.
That's
Although I think, yeah.
great. But maybe Explodinator and then in War Gear into one of the Goblin Bombs.
Yeah, I think you probably, yeah, exactly.
Spread the love?
Explodinator. Yeah, because then next turn you can start getting in that hero power if you choose to Explodinator this turn, and just start trying to take away the life tap ability from Warlock over time. But I mean, replicating menace is obviously just increases. It seems like it got to be Explodinator or maybe a War Gear this turn.
Well, if you do well, I would actually think you hold on to the War Gear no matter what. You either do Replicating Menace, because if you die, you get to spread the board. But if you... Well, actually, maybe not, because they're trying to account for that Sea Giant. Actually, Explodinator might be a bad idea, so the War Gear might have been good.
Yeah, Sea Giant. Okay,
Okay.
it's going to be a 2 mana Sea Giant, but this is an
No way to
imposing
avoid
board.
it. At some point, it's
Yeah.
going to come down either way.
And this War Gear is going to let you clear the Mountain Giant if it comes down.
That is true. So I think there was just that, like, I think maybe Vienna was just like trying to convince themselves, like, okay, if the Sea Giant comes down, we can take care of it. We can take care of it. We can take care of it.
We can take care
Just
of it.
breathe. Just.
Can we take care of it? Oh, jeez. We can take care of it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're actually going to see the Kobold Lackey come down and deal the 2 damage to the Ursatron, which allows this Sea Giant to come down for 1 mana. That is pretty good. 1 mana 8/8. If you thought a 4 mana 8/8 was good, can I interest you in a 1 mana 8/8?
Ooh.
Also makes chili and fries.
What?
Yeah, and cleanups a breeze.
Does it have a built-in slushy machine?
It has a built-in slushing machine.
Oh my gosh.
All right, the upgradable frame bot going to be the draw off the Ursatron Death Rattle effect, and now Helsinki would like to take away any magnetic targets. This is what they're currently trying to do. They don't have enough attacks to do so. Another War Gear comes into hand, allowing for this turn to be pretty... They can do some magnetic stuff this turn.
Frame
but they
bot
also...
War Gear.
Yeah. Can they... Yeah, they can... Oh, actually interested. They're looking into the possibilities of this Replicating Menace in combination with the Harvest Golem. Boy, is that ever a throwback. Harvest Golem used to be a 2 of in every deck, almost. I remember those days.
Oh man.
Another Sea Giant. So this is another interesting Solarium possibility turn. Yeah, if you have a little
you
bit
get
more mana to
Leroy.
work with. Oh, they don't want to discard that Vulture.
No. They can
Gosh,
play their
you can-
entire hand.
Yeah, Vulture, Flame Imp, and...
Direwolf.
Yeah, 4, 5, so yeah, that'd be exactly 7 mana. That'd be a wide board.
It'd be wide
They would-
board, look juicy. They can still play the... Actually, they can play the Giant if they do that.
Oh, that's right, because if they do Vulture and then Flame Imp, they'll actually get an additional creature. So they can really get this Sea Giant to be cheap.
Actually, no, they wouldn't be able to play Sea Giant because then the board would be wide.
Oh, it'll be too full.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just
Ah,
realized.
7
Dang,
creature
nabbit.
limit.
Vultures! Stop bringing your friends over to my parties.
But they all cost 3 mana. They're all so cool.
Look at my friends, they're so cool and cheap and useful.
What if only if it's your friend
Oh no,
raid
they
leader.
traded and then they'll be fine.
Okay. All right, so they're actually just gonna go ahead and be happy with discarding this wolf.
Acolyte of
And-
Pain is pretty big.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad little guy to get off there. All right, how much damage? Yeah, how much damage do we have with? Oh, we can only play 1 War Gear this turn because
Yep.
Galvanizer wouldn't make it cheap enough.
Yeah, it also costs 2 mana. So here's your question of the day, Bills. I think you accept your fate and you trade into the Sea Giants and stuff.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna be able to galvanize their war gear and upgradable frame bot all on this turn.
Right.
So now you got to decide how you want these less than favorable trades to go, and which sea giant do you take off the board? You know,
Let's see. You're still dead. 8 plus 3, so 6. 6 plus 8 is 14.
Yeah, they're
Plus
17.
Another 3. Yeah, it's 14.
So they have
17.
to take. They have to
that's
trade
just
this.
lethal.
They have to trade this golem into the flame imp.
Please trade it to the flame imp. I beg of you.
And if they don't, they will die.
Yeah.
There's still a pretty good chance they'll die, but at least now they're not dead right on the board.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, Helsinki gets to leverage this Acolyte of Pain for an additional draw. They get 3 draws.
Oh no!
Well, that'll do it. They only needed 1. 1 draw. But they had the natural draw, the life tap draw, and the Acolyte of Pain draw to try to find, Leroy Jenkins, Flame Imp, Grim Rally, not Flame Imp, Soulfire, Grim Rally, Crazed Alchemist would have been able to flip the Vulture and would have dealt 2 extra damage. There's all kinds of possibilities. So that is that, if I'm not mistaken. Zoo just sweeps.
That is going to be the Zoo. Just go ahead and take it in, and that just also goes to show you that last year's standing is a format that really favors aggression a lot of the time. So I mean, good like, I'm really sad we didn't get to see the aggro warrior come into play, but you know what? Really good job from Helsinki. They honestly, I think the Zoo was just such a strong deck, and we talked about it, like, we were curious as to, like, hey, like, what would sweep a lot more easily, is the Zoo or the Priest? Like, I feel like if you banned the Zoo, you would have been maybe fine with the Priest.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like you had enough aggro decks that you could trade still exists. Like the Quest Shaman, in theory, could deal with it if it rolled into the right stuff with the weaponized Wasp, and just like there would be enough lackeys to deal with stuff. Like, I feel like there could have been a lot of options to deal with the Priest.
Yeah, but we've seen, like you're saying, Last Hero Standing. Just it definitely can be a good format for aggro, or really any deck that has the ability to just win games, even in unfavorable matchups. If you can just, like, Zoo, I don't know if I have. I'm not sure exactly what the exact numbers are between, like, Zoo and Quest Shaman, but Zoo and, like you're saying, the Priest. There's any deck that has the ability to just get onto the board and force you to draw well.
Yeah.
Right. Anything that, like, plays to the board always is asking you the questions like, do you have the lackeys you need? Do you have the Sandstorm Elemental that you need? Do you have Mind Control tech
Do you have the
in your
box
hand?
launcher to recycle the abilities?
Yeah. Do you have your draw to find your answers? Do you have the stuff to activate your quest? And it's only like turn 7. Right. And honestly, the Quest Shaman should have their quest online by turn 7, but obviously in this game they didn't.
Yeah.
And Warlock just keeps forcing you to have, and then if you have an awkward draw, forces you to play awkwardly, right? Like, every time they were having to do stuff like what was it, on the Druid game, they had to keep choosing between advancing their quest to make all their very powerful cards very powerful, or try to stave off the board presence of Warlock. And they died. They had that Oasis in hand. Yeah, they had the Oasis in hand. If they had survived just one more turn, that 12 healing comes down, that 6/6 taunt comes up, and we have potentially a whole different outcome. But every turn, Warlock is forcing you to make awkward decisions between your strategy and answering their strategy. It's just a very proactive kind of game plan.
So interesting as well. It's just like the situation of, like, we thought it was going to lose, especially when it had double Grim Rally, not really much to trade in, and it was just starting to trade and stuff. But it's like, much in the way of Priest, it just has so many options the moment it gets that one good card. Like, Evil Genius is such a strong card. Lackeys are just so good. So the fact is that you get 2 for 2 mana, I think is, like, such a good trade. Especially when you get a 2/2 on board, you can do a lot of stuff. There's just so much going for it. But that's going to be roughly about it, Bills. We do have another series on our hands, so kudos to both Helsinki and Vienna for putting on a great series. I really enjoyed it. And now we're going to be moving onwards to the Oslo Knights versus Stockholm. I actually just wrote in the schedule Sweden, but it's Silverhands. So we'll go ahead and throw it to a break real quick, and I'll fix that. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be Stockholm Silverhands versus the Oslo Knights. See you soon.
See you soon.
Stockholm, Sweden. Help me, Bills. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the House Rivalries. Thank you for sticking around and waiting a little bit just for the casters to refresh themselves, get the stream set up, and back into the last game of the day, which is Oslo Knights versus the Stockholm Silverhands. It is going to be an exciting match overall because still to this day, Bills, why don't you share the news of what was banned?
To the surprise of exactly two people who have not watched competitive Hearthstone yet. Both priests are banned.
What?
What does it mean? It means that the best strategy to beat priest is just don't play against it. Everyone is, just don't play against it. It's playing with fire.
Yeah,
and,
literally.
Yeah, with inner fire. It's playing with divine spirit fueled inner fire. So what that means is for Oslo, we have a remaining quest shaman, quest druid, and zoo warlock, which we just saw do very well. And it looks like they're doing a very similar, if not exact. Oh no, a slightly different variation on zoo. A little bit more lackey generation.
Yep.
A little bit less. Having. Let's see. I'll have to get back into that and see what they cut. It looks like they've cut an evil cable rat. Oh no, they've added an evil cable rat. Okay, it's pretty different actually. There's a lot more lackey generation in the Oslo zoo list than the previous zoo list.
I like that.
Whereas for Stockholm, we have a much more controlling lineup, the priest notwithstanding, in the form of a control warrior, a Highlander mage, a singleton mage, as well as an OTK Holy Wrath paladin waiting in the wings. So we're actually going to see, control warrior. Classically, has just sort of the conventional wisdom has been a bad matchup for Zoo, for example. But I want to say it was Purple who was saying that Zoo is not unfavored against Control Warrior.
Who's Purple?
The Grandmaster player, Purple.
North American Grandmaster. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's also the champion of WESG.
Yep, that's the one.
Really
that's
smart
Purple.
one. Also, I believe one time brought Mukla only decks to DreamHack Atlanta. So I don't know.
Just a mad scientist and wizard.
I'm joking. He's a really amazing player. You gotta love Purple.
Yeah.
He's a really cool dude. Shout out to Tempest Storm Purple. Anyways, but yeah, here we go. This is gonna be interesting. Now with Control Shaman is a lot easier to outvalue the Control Warrior, but the Control Warrior I think has still a leg up in some ways because it's pretty much a race. Once they are able to develop their taunts in the most efficient way possible, it's going to be absolutely nutty as they can get a lot of things done with some Tomb Wardens that are just absolutely tall, healthy minions thanks to some armadillo with a laser on its back.
Yeah, that's one of the things that this quest shaman can really struggle with is removing our Megadillo on 6, right? It's just, it can be tough to piece together all the different things you need. Maybe your quest isn't all the way finished yet, or you have, maybe you haven't been able to keep a lackey on board, because even a double weaponized wasp doesn't 1-for-1 in our Megadillo. You need a little bit of chip damage as well to be able to deal with it if it comes down on 6. We don't see it in hand for Stockholm, but we do see the finest 1-drops in the game with Eternium Rover and Town Crier. At least the finest for this deck. This is a deck that likes to play Eternium Rovers and Town Criers on 1 every game if they can. And I've seen some people mulligan entire hands if they don't have an Eternium Rover or a Town Crier. Because look at this. But this is a pretty strong start coming out for Oslo. They're able to develop both the Sludge Slurper as well as the Titanic Lackey coming in to make this a 2-3 and actually contest this Eternium Rover a little bit.
It does. It's an interesting call. Just a very unique early game option that maybe not a lot of people would actually see the benefit or the route for, but it is very much a good choice, I think. I think the more you can contest, the better. The more things you can keep alive as well. And this also allows for the guarantee that the Titanic totem survives. So I think this was the best lackey in general because then the weaponized wasp can come in. I know you probably don't want to do it right. Ooh, Questing Explorer.
Yeah, this is a great.
Oh
great
yes,
sign.
let's search for Overload. I'm dumb.
No, it's the Sludge Slurper. He's just covered in purple. He's not covered in padlocks. It's just on. I blame the cover art. So yeah, we're gonna go. Yeah, I see. So the Questing Explorer. This is when you like to see it. When you have 2 mana open to you, and it'll draw a card. Because this is just a really a really good card in the very early stages of
It
the
really
game.
is.
So now to Stockholm, they have to decide how they would like to deal with this 2-1 with taunt and this 2-3. They're going to continue to draw, continue to get that draw rush minions value. Very good going into turn 4 just to guarantee pick up one of your mummies if you're the control warrior. And it leaves them enough mana to hero power if they like to continue stacking this armor. They've already made it to 36. They can push it all the way to 38 if they'd like.
Let's go the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're debating on what they want to do. Do you want to keep the Eternia Rover alive or not? Or do they just... It's interesting that they wouldn't... I honestly think you would be like, okay, Eternia Rover, you're done. I don't think we're gonna... Unless they're... Oh, you know what? You might be trying to wait to coin Ziliax it. See, they get even more value. But I feel like that's just like such a shard in the dark. We're going to see that's going to be absolutely obliterated, probably by the Elemental Sandstorm, I would assume, with the Evil Cable Rat coming in.
Yeah, so here's the Cable Rat. Let's
Well,
go ahead and see
actually,
what kind of lackey.
I actually would like the Novice Engineer. You do keep the Evil Cable Rat for the hero power.
Yeah, I mean, both of these. I think they're just, Oslo must be thinking just get that hero power online so that when they hit there, they're also playing 2 copies of Former Champ. And this is probably a matchup where 2 copies of Former Champ would be a little more useful because you can get those extra hot shots out there a little earlier.
Oh,
and just,
it's
I mean,
okay to have opinions.
I can't say that I have the reps necessary to say with certainty.
You don't need the reps. You can say, look, this is my honest feeling, and then
Yeah.
you know it's not the definitive answer, or maybe not even the right answer, but at least you know you have things to back it up, and you know the game.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will
Take
freely
credit
admit that I'm a
yourself,
little.
Bills.
I am biased against Former Champ, for sure.
Through personal
we're gonna-
experience.
Yeah, it's just it has. I feel like he's let me down more than he's propped me up. But so coming into this turn 4 for Stockholm, they have the option of a Restless Mummy to go ahead and take a couple things off the board if they want to. They can also just tempo out this Omega Devastator.
Why?
Put as many stats on board as possible.
I guess they're not going to really do 10 damage to anything too tall.
Yeah, they're the only tall stuff that they really have to worry about moving into the later stages is evolve results. You know, if they get like a Ysera off a Giggling Inventor evolve or something like that. Oh, the other Questing Explorer.
That could be good.
They're pretty close to quest complete, right? If they only have 1 or 2 more nuggets until they get there.
Are they doing this just to stack the Ziliax to keep it alive so the Omega Devastator would outlive?
Oh, that's right. They have another mech target that they can attach Ziliaxes or Snip Snaps to. All right, so that's going to complete the quest. They even have the option to hero-powered Sludge Slurper. Go ahead and start getting some value off that hero power if they'd like.
Yeah, that's true.
Generate some lackeys.
The sooner you can do it, the better.
Yeah. And all right, Sludge Slurper comes down. Rush Lackey and Damage Lackey come into hand for Oslo. All of the lackeys are so good with the hero power, but that do 4 damage lackey in particular is quite good. All right. So this is where we might see the effects of the adjustment to Frightened Flunky. He's now no longer predisposed to give you warrior taunt cards. He's now equal across the board to all taunts. And so, it increases your chances of stuff like Stegatron, damage Stegatron, Ziliax, but it also decreases your chances of being able to run 2 or 3 Armageddillos through the Frightened Flunky. This is exactly what you were talking about. Playing out the tempo Omega Devastator allows you to just go ahead and play out this Dynomatic on 5 and really swing this board into your favor.
Oh, I was thinking about Ziliax coming in soon as well, but maybe they really are holding on to Megadil. It was just interesting to see that the tempo Omega Devastator happened. It's I don't know, I'm just used to just having 10 mana crystals and just having it in the hand for a long time, but I mean, they're playing, and they know something I don't.
So for the Shaman now, they're in a situation where they can start really leveraging this hero power. They can hero power Kobold Lackey to deal 4 damage to either of these targets. That would also enable their weaponized Wasp. No, nope. This time I forgot about the Overload. They're overloaded for 1 this turn, so they only have 5 mana actually available to them.
That's not bad though.
And so yeah, they'll go ahead and double Sandstorm Elemental
Oh, they
in
cleared the
conjunction
board
with the
with
Rush
this.
Lackey. Yep, this will do it too. And a clear board heading into turn 6. Stockholm would like our Megadillo off the top, please. Nope.
Pretty expensive as well.
Yeah.
Frightened Flunky's
And
not bad.
yeah, I would assume this will be a flunky turn, and then
Flunky
if
to
you
our
need to,
Megadillo.
yeah, and missed.
Omega Defender might not be bad.
Yeah, you could play either the Omega Defender or the Senjin Shieldmaster this turn. The Belligerent Gnome is going to work. There's definitely this is
Yeah.
not the last board that Oslo is going to present to you, and it's very cheap.
Senjin or Mega Defender is things you can play right now, though.
Yeah, I would think that they're leaning. Gosh, I actually don't know. The +1 health might be really good to just help get out of range of. I mean, neither one of these is out of range of double weaponized Wasp. So maybe you just try to get out of range of other stuff.
These are all pretty good options. Like, I think it's just what they think they need now or later. So I think Belligerent Gnome is a later option along with Mega Defender. Senjin is a immediately just play right now because you have the curve for it.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to do exactly that. Play out that Senjin Shieldmaster that they drew off the Flunky. The Flunky, even with the adjustment, is just so good at smoothing out an awkward curve because they didn't have a great play this turn. They don't want to spend they're probably thinking about coin boom on 8, something like that. So how they bridge the gap between here and there, the Flunky can just help you gracefully make it through to that turn 8
Yeah,
play.
very much so.
All right, so we're going to see Oslo now has the option to. They're overloaded again, so they only have 6 mana, but that means that they can hero power Wasp. They can hero power Ethereal Lackey if they want to get a double dip on spells and still have enough mana to Wasp. All right, Forked Lightning, Feral Spirit, and Earthshock the choices. Forked Lightning is applicable right now if they want to do that, but I would assume that they're really interested in Wasping this turn, so they're going to go ahead and take the Feral Spirits for future board reload. And Eureka, Big Bad Voodoo, Totemic Surge the choices. That was a Big Bad Voodoo. Yeah, that was a much faster decision for Oslo there.
There was maybe some cause for the Eureka because that would help with the Barista.
Yeah, if you Eureka something out, you can potentially go infinite and just keep barista-ing your baristas and just.
Pretty much. Also,
Yeah.
ooh, hello. Okay, so we have the stuff that makes the Armadillo awesome, but the Armadillo is yet to be found. Maybe much like
Yeah.
a real armadillo, it is slow to the party.
Yeah, it is showing up late and far larger than you expected.
Yes. And very destructive.
Just smashing everything.
It is really adorable though. Like the goggles on the Armadillo. It's like it's Armadillo with glasses. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Restless Mummy could definitely help out clear out the Frost Wolves. They pretty much can clear the board out if they want to. So Desire get the full value off of this. There's not really too much pressure. Just Restless Mummy hero power looks pretty good. I think you're just honestly Warrior's in a good point where next turn they're gonna coin hero. Or they're gonna play coin Dr. Boom if they don't get their Megadillo next turn.
Oh yeah, and then that'll be, like you said, they're going to be able to go into turn 8 with coin boom, and they have the board initiative right now,
Yeah, much so.
which is just that's a good position to be in if you're the control warrior. We see a Bog Slosher come into hand for Oslo, and now they have to figure out. There's no Lackey on board, but they do have a damage Lackey. They're overloaded again because they played Feral Spirit, so they actually only have 6 mana available to them.
Yeah.
But they can hero power Kobold Lackey to deal with the 3/4. And then that would also enable the weaponized Wasp if they wanted to play that. And that would be all 6 mana. So they're actually going to Kobold Lackey and then Bog Slosher the Kobold Lackey, which...
Ooh, are they? Or are they going to play Evil Totem? Because they do... Oh, no, right, yeah, because then they will still have a Lackey either way.
Yeah, and this will be... That'll make this Lackey much more... much larger threat into the moving into the later stages of the game.
Yeah.
The old 1 mana 5/5 deal 2, and then for 2 mana you can make that a deal 4. All right, Dr. Boom comes online. This Frightened Flunky is headed directly to face. There, Stockholm is sitting on a strong 47 armor, as well as having this taunt in the way, which has made the situation pretty awkward for Oslo.
Made awkward in some cases, for sure.
And so now they can clear the Flunky just on board, but then There's so much armor because there's a part of me that wants to start just sailing some stuff faceward. Because you can hero power. You finally have all 9 of your mana crystals, so you can like hero power, life drinker, damage lackey, and still get a big bad voodoo in. You know, maybe on the life drinker just to get you a random 5-cost card. They're actually going to go ahead and go for the evil totem, which is also just a very high value target.
Yeah, and 4 mana's not bad. You get a lot of good stuff in the 4 mana pool.
Yeah, that's right. And so now, turn 9, still missing that Armageddillo. And so Stockholm, their hero power is just deal 1 damage. So they can set off this Bog Slosher for 2 mana, and then reevaluate from there. Or they can just start Whirlwinding, or you can just throw down Tomb Warden, get you a couple of 3/6s with Rush and Taunt on the field, and just make sure that you deal with this evil totem.
Good. I am in favor of just playing Tomb Warden or Ziliax and not proccing the Death Rattle from the Bog Slosher. I think, honestly, if you want to hold on to a taunt minion that has value with the Armageddillo more, I would say Tomb Warden has more value than the Ziliax. The Ziliax is a tall minion once it becomes buffed by the Armageddillo, but it's not like the biggest thing in the world. And choose Procket, see what they get. Omega Devastator. Okay.
The second tempo Omega Devastator of the game. Yeah, and it looks like they are going to develop the Ziliax, keep their Divine Shield in play. And like you're saying, the Tomb Warden value generated by Armageddillo is nuts.
Yeah, on top of that, also, they don't lose the Divine Shield when they use the Ziliax against the Totem.
Right, that's right. Totem. This Totem didn't have any attack power. You needs to start doing some reps with Flame Tongue Totem.
Yeah, it just laughs maniacally in a corner. Producing like
its whole thing is scheming. No, I'm not a fighter. I'm a schemer.
Isn't there something in the rules where you can't attack us?
Yeah. Okay, so this Kobold Lackey is going to come down.
Not going to hero power it.
And actually, are they going to hero power it all this turn?
That's weird.
Maybe they're just going for maximum board presence this turn, trying to make a bunch of stuff that's awkward. Although right now everything still dies to Warpath.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they're playing around. I'm not. Oh, they're going to Barista this turn. That's what it is.
Okay.
Just go ahead and get.
Oh, they want to get the Omega Devastator. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's funny. They're gonna be able to double Omega Devastate something if they want to.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah, and I think Warrior this turn is just gonna Whirlwind 5 times. I guess they could Whirlwind 4 times, take the 5/1, and still get the Discover off their hero power if they want. They could also they could Whirlwind 3 times, execute in hero power if they want to do that.
Whirlwind once, do Plague, and then do hero power.
Oh, true. That's true. They got that Plague of Wrath in hand.
It's their only Plague of Wrath, but it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. You have also Brawl and other things, so it's not that big of a deal. I think it's just how much. I think it's basically how much do you value the Discover versus using how many resources. Because you could just basically use 1 card to clear this board, but you could also use 2 cards to clear the board and then get a Discover. And they really value the Discover, I guess.
Yeah, because they don't really have. We can see in their late game strategy in their hand in the form of that Archivist Elysiana.
Hecklebot could really throw off somebody's yams.
Oh my gosh! If Hecklebot pulls out
Shutterwalk.
the Shutterwalk, then all of a sudden that all disappears. Yep, it's Hecklebot.
Oh boy, it's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, and he's got so many taunts. All of his different taunt lines are so mean.
Face me, you coward.
Yeah. All right, so coming in, there's nothing on the board for Oslo to be able to Omega Devastate this turn, so they're just going to go ahead and start sending some damage downtown. 4 damage from the Lackey, 6 damage from the Weaponized Wasp. Maybe another 6 damage from the other Weaponized Wasp.
Huh,
although it looks like
the MC.
Yeah. All right. Mind Control Tech Battlecry goes off twice.
Armageddillo!
Oh, there he is. Look at that. Look at this little guy.
Hey. Yeah, he's got some serious tusks. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Huh. So the Armageddillo
You can do both.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go ahead and Hecklebot this turn to see what else comes up for the hero power to potentially destroy. Yeah, we'll
Wow.
take that. Go ahead and take a free novice engineer. I guess if they choose the hero power, though, then they can't develop the Armageddillo. So they have to choose between clearing 2/1/1s or getting their Armageddillo
I
on
don't care
board, and
about
it's tough to argue
1/1s.
with the Armageddillo. Huh?
Yeah, I don't care about 1/1s. I want to get a big armadillo out there.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough to argue with an Armageddillo. Between the goggles, the tusks, and the coolness,
And the laser on the back.
yeah. Oh, okay. They're actually gonna opt to clear out everything except for this tempo mind control tech, and that actually makes this card that just came into hand, the Mogu Flesh Shaper, a little bit more awkward to play this turn.
Huh.
And it deactivates the weaponized wasp that is also now somewhat stranded in hand. Although that we see there's a Goblin Lackey in hand still, and Stockholm is probably aware that one of those is a generated Lackey card.
Perplexing.
So for Oslo, their Omega Devastator is online. So if they want to, they can zap this Hecklebot for 10. They also have Hero Power Life Drinker available to them. There it is. I'll see your Omega Devastator and raise you one additional Omega Devastator, but this time it's got lasers.
They saved the best for last, Bills.
Yep. And Oslo has now managed to burn through all of Stockholm's armor. Oh, okay, this is a
It's a fight.
right on time. Yeah, this is an Omega Devastator on Omega Devastator fight. And once again, they're going to have to choose if Stockholm decides that they want to develop their own Omega Devastator with the laser and then the rush. They have to choose between Hero Power and Omegadillo again. They might get stuck with this Armageddillo just cruising along for another turn.
Please don't summon 3/1/1s. Like, just get this dude. He's got a laser on his back. He is ready to shoot some people.
Yeah, it's really just how much do they respect the board that Oslo has, and they have to decide. And I'm sure they're still somewhat concerned about Mogu Flesh Shaper. It hasn't been played yet though, so you can't play around it forever. And they're able to get most everything off the board, and they don't have to worry about this Omega. They don't have to worry about this mind control tech getting bounced back, or really ever coming into effect.
Right.
5/8 Tomb Warden.
There we go. Doesn't matter how much you evolve. That is just a 5/8 Serenite Chain Gang with their brain in a jar.
Right. Yeah, being manipulated through gigantic mechs. Full Futurama mode.
I guess it really went on for a really long time.
How long could it go on? It's still going on.
Still going.
All right, Hero Power Sandstorm Elemental is going to clear off.
Everything.
It's going to allow that in combination with the Goblin Lackey is going to enable a once again clear board and one of the strongest moves in this deck, Evolve. Oh, it's a Gruul. It's not going to last very long. It's going to get hero powered and executed, but it's very cool.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I got excited.
No, it's exciting. Like anytime Gruul hits the board, it's never gotten the chance to really see the light of day. Old Gruul. He's. And it makes this turn, it makes this turn really kind of. They didn't. Stockholm didn't get to develop any creatures of their own. Yeah, they spent their whole turn clearing 2 minions. Granted, one of them was Gruul, but still, that's not the kind of turn you want to have. All right, another tempo mind control tech gonna hit the board, and Stockholm sitting at 17 life.
Oh, shield block is huge here. You can shield block, see what you want to do. You won't be able to play the 2 Morton, but you get to draw and have more options if you so desire. Or maybe it's getting pretty late into the game. Do you actually bother with that? I like the hero power going to 2 Morton. Not much.
Yeah.
At this point, what are you trying to draw into? So I guess that's the question.
Maybe like what do they even have left? Super Collider, the other 2 Morton.
Both brawls.
Yeah, and they've been able to maintain board parity pretty effectively. All right, here we go. Double former champ. And a mind control technician. What's off the top here? Double shield block available now to potentially shield slam away these 5/5s.
You could warpath everything and just like keep everything alive. Snip, snap!
Ooh, that's probably for next turn. But if either of these Tomb Wardens survive, Oslo will find themselves greatly greatly slowed by this pair of Tomb Wardens. Actually, they're gonna go for it now. They're gonna go ahead and magnetize a couple of Snip Snaps this turn. And they still get to shield slam. Even they spend one shield block, and they're gonna be able to slam one of these 5/5s off. And
go
14
face.
damage to the face, yeah. And now all of a sudden, Oslo finds themselves sort of behind the 8 ball there. Another former champ.
They're dead.
They are dead. Yeah, that's right. The hero power. They have to trade in their whole board to stay alive. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can trade everything into the 7/9. And they will survive on board. Shield Slam, once again coming into hand. I would assume this will be a draw.
Yep, I would assume so as well. Shield block, hero power is pretty big as well. They can trade 2 microbots into one of the 5/5s and keep that Tomb Warden living forever.
Yeah.
Mega
Assembly
Assembly is exactly what they need.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get some magnetic damage. Oh my gosh.
Security Rover's pretty big as well in its own right, just because you can get a lot more wider on board and have some minions to trade with. Replicating Menace could help. That's another 10 damage with the hero power.
They have lethal damage. They have lethal damage.
This would be
You're right, because of microbots, yeah.
Yeah, with the hero power, this is it. Lethal damage.
Wowie
And
zowie.
Bang. Wait, they're short one? I did the math wrong. Crap. No, it's not 11 attack. It's only 10 attack. Yep, no, addition. My one weakness.
Dang it, Bills.
Set them to 1, though. Set them to... Okay, it's still lethal damage.
It's lethal because they did it in the cool way. They actually...
That's right.
Yeah.
they will gracefully bow out of the game. Replicating Menace does not have 4 attack. It only has 3. Learning.
I thought it had 4 attack too. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, honestly, that was I'm honestly pleasantly surprised. Like, it was very well done. I think there's a lot of things to think about that game. It's just like, okay, well, really good resource management coming in from Stockholm, as they really thought about just like, what do they value here, how much do they value clearing the board on top of discovering cards. It was very interesting. And then on top of that also, we've seen the second time now how former champ is really a handicap.
Yeah.
No, it's like look, Bill, it's like you just saw 2 Quest Shaman games in a row back to back now. Just pretty much say, hey, we can't do anything for another couple of turns. If we could evolve, maybe we'll find some value, but that's about it.
And it's, if they had hero powered Giggling invented, they wouldn't have died. Hero power, but it's easy to be sort of results oriented. Just because we've seen it happen every time. It's just a crazy thing to say. Just because it's, maybe if you have 1,000 games, maybe former champ starts to edge out some reason. But in what I've been seeing and what I've been experiencing, it feels like one of the weaker cards in the deck. But so going into this game, we have a Quest Druid, and this particular Quest Druid coming out from Oslo is a Chef Nomi variant. They have Chef Nomi. They don't have King Phaeorus. They do have Elise. They do have Zephyrus. Playing 2 copies of Bees still. And only 1 swipe. They've actually cut a swipe to make room for a 2nd copy of Bees. So they're just really interested in beesing on 4. And I guess that makes sense. If you're able to complete your quest on time, then on 5 you can just Starfall. And because you don't really want to swipe on 4 if you're trying to get your quest completed. So be interested to see how if that choice has any effect on this game. Obviously they chose this Quest Druid to go into this Quest Warrior. So they think, being able to double or triple Nomi will probably take them across the goal line if it goes that long.
Huh. I was also checking to see if they still had the Floop at least. They do, so this is not like... I almost thought it was APM Beast for a second. But yeah, but this is gonna be this is gonna be a lot of draw as well. So this is pretty much just a race of like, can we get a bunch of 6/6s that really doesn't even matter? Though I fear for this deck that because it's Nami Druid that this is going to just run into a brawl and die.
Yeah, Nomi number 1 and Nomi number 2. Well, I guess between Oasis Surger, Cenarius, Hidden Oasis.
You gotta produce a lot of invisible threats if you want to bait out the brawls.
Yeah, and there actually are more Nomi boards than brawls potentially. They can produce 3 Nomi boards if they want to over the course of the game.
Nomi itself, Floop, and then what's the third one?
At least the Enlightened duplicates both.
Oh, okay.
And so they can generate.
Oh, they have them.
Yeah, no. So they have the ability to generate a lot of Nomi boards if they make it all the way to the end of the game and they need to.
Well, Super Collider is pretty good as well. This basically
Yeah.
allows them to get a lot of the board cleared away without using their brawls. So.
Yeah, and Super Collider is really good to have developed going into turn 5, just for dealing with Oasis Surgers. Which actually, are we going to see a pre-quest complete Oasis Surger? We are just a 5/5 with Rush, and then Innervate to actually complete the quest.
I like this idea a lot more because this thing is going to get a lot more value by itself than it is with 2 Oasis Surger. You see the Super Collider on board, you may as well just go ahead and tempo it out.
Yeah, clear out their board, and then they have to commit. Actually, we see the other Restless Mummy come into hand just right on time for Stockholm if they want to use that to clear out this Oasis Surger. Yeah, that seems pretty nice. Obviously, though, playing our Megadillo is good. So it's just this one of the few instances where our Megadillo is green. It's turn 6, but you can't just jam it. You gotta respect this Oasis Surger.
You really do, because on top of that, basically, the next thing is that there could be something that just gets rid of it very quickly. We're gonna see probably maybe Nourish just start speeding up the draws. Maybe, let's see, with 6 they find 3, they maybe get Bees. And if they get Bees, then this could be pretty useful.
Yeah, they're gonna need something they can play for 0.
God.
Oh, okay.
Like 2
Well, they can also
defenders?
Yeah, they could get 2 things to play for 0, and they're gonna go ahead and play out their Power of the Wild as well. Boy, that's a turn. Gain 2 mana crystals, draw 3 cards, play 2 3/5s with taunt, buff them to 4/6s, and get a 4/3.
I think that's the best turn you could ever gotten.
That is.
Though I actually feel like they maybe. I don't know. I feel like you maybe want to power the wild one and keep onto the other, so that way you can do placements a little bit more.
So like do one defender, then Power of the Wild, then the other defender. So it goes like defender, tiger, or defender, panther, defender.
Yeah, for placement.
Yeah. I wonder if they.
I don't know.
So it looks like they're gonna end up knocking together.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal because they still would have taken a lot of damage either way because they're all 4 attack. And I feel like if you wanted to mitigate the defenders taking damage, then you want to put the panther in between.
Yeah, it's gonna turn out no matter how they placed it, this Dynomatic was gonna clean it up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more.
It's definitely worth playing around. Yeah, definitely worth playing around trying to. You can't assume that they have. It's not like Warrior's been drawing a bunch of cards, right? You can't assume they have Dynomatic in their hand necessarily. So yeah.
Ooh, Taran, this is pretty good as well. I think basically when you go for these expeditions, you just kind of go for things that can create invisible threats, and Tending Taran is just like such a good option to do that. It's just like it's a mini Cenarius basically.
Yeah, little Cenarius.
Yeah, snack size Cenarius.
Yeah. Super Collider, last charge, can be used up to clear out 2 of these creatures, and then the Armageddillo can come down behind it. And the other option is to draw off Shield Slam and see if or Shield Block and see if you can find Dr. Boom for next turn. There's also an option if you wanted to Warpath this away, you could. You could hang on to your Super Collider and you could. No, okay, so we're gonna see these 2 things knocked together. And then the mighty Armageddillo finally takes the field. Zap. But it's a good zap.
Yeah, it's weird.
Here comes this.
It's like Ana in Overwatch. It's just like you shoot your allies to heal them.
Right. He's, okay, so now for the druid, their Zephrys is online. So that's every turn from like this point forward, they have the option to get the perfect card, which right now would give them Black Knight, which would be pretty good. You could just Black Knight away this.
Oh, Black Knight would be like one of the best you could ever have.
Yeah, I would assume they're going to hang on to it so that they can duplicate it later on in the game. But you know, the option is there. Oasis Surger deals with it quite well. But then it's only going to take half the Surger if they choose to trade in this tree. All right, tree traded. Our Megadillos hate getting hit by trees. It's just a well-known fact. Size notwithstanding.
I always
He's getting hit by a tree.
I always get bark in my shell.
He's like, I hate it when this happens.
Well, good thing about goggles.
Yep. Sort of an awkward mana turn because there's a pretty clean just 5 warpaths to just 1-for-1 this if they want to, but they don't have that 10th mana crystal, so they have to either Tomb Warden, which would leave Stockholm with 2 quite damaged Tomb Wardens. Shield Slam. Yeah, shield block, shield slam. They can shield slam Tomb Warden.
She shall by she sure.
She does. She sure does. Okay. So they're gonna clear 1 Oasis Surge with the shield slam, and they're actually just not going to. Oh, they don't have Rush. He's not Dr. Boom yet. Clearly, I still have some PTSD from playing against Dr. Boom. It's like every mech has Rush all the time. It's a warrior.
Right?
Garrosh can't do that. Oh, only Dr. Boom can do that.
Garrosh could physically push him.
Yeah, you'd think he's real strong.
Yeah.
Really strong.
He
Look
is
at those
really-
shoulder pads.
I know, right?
Glorious.
They're very impractical, unless you're really strong.
Yeah.
And even then, why?
Just yeah. I guess he's
Garrosh was
yeah.
never practical, anyways.
Yeah, that's not really his MO, is it?
He was
It's
always
just-
a man
he's
of theater.
just being very big. He's all right, Cenarius is going to come down and make this a 7-3, which is actually not enough to get through these Tomb Wardens. That's insane. All right, it seems like it's time to shield block now. Or do some whirlwinds. I guess if you whirlwind 4 times, you can clear everything. Because you'd be able to knock your Tomb Warden into the remains of Cenarius. But hey, Ziliax magnetizes onto these quite nicely.
Yeah. The Divine Shield onto the 5/1 could keep it alive if they wanted to do that, or just stack on a big thing and just say, hey, you know what? I have one big thing, and you can never deal with it.
Yeah, they'd be down to like, what, Lodi? That's the only way to deal with a very, very tall minion.
Well, Lodi's Starfall could work out.
Yeah, Lodi's Poison Rush. And
Well, actually,
yeah, short.
You said they have 1 swipe, right?
They're only playing 1 swipe, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, they could hold on to loading and just keep it stealth for a long time and just keep using the spell buff.
Yeah. And so they're just gonna go ahead and make a big Tomb Warden. And once again, this warrior is just able to sail up to 44 armor.
Yeah. And that's the power of the ZPA.
The
Ziliax Protection
The Ziliax
Agency.
Protection Agency, that's right. They are on your side, but they're a neutral, so they're on anybody's side who chooses to pick them up.
Hey, isn't that what Protection for Hire is?
So
That's
many
right.
Yeah.
contradictions.
So they actually, Oslo has the option to go for a Black Knight again if they want to. You can just Black Knight all this away if they choose to play Zephyrus. Obviously, that means they don't get to duplicate their Zephyrus later in the game, but you know that's a pretty clean way to deal 10 damage for 6 mana.
How curious.
It's not as good as Omega Devastator, but you know, this is a 4/5 for 4 that deals 10 damage. Okay, we're gonna see a Starfall and a Swipe played out this turn in order to deal with the Ziliax Protection Agency buffed Tomb Warden.
I like it.
Half a Tomb. Yeah.
Not gonna go really wide on board.
And Cenarius gets in there and hoof kicks for 5.
There's the
Dr. Boom.
boom. You don't play around. You just go for it, right?
Oh yeah, I would assume that this boom is coming down. Yeah. All right, back up to 45, and boom mode is online.
Boom mode online. Both Oasis Surgers have been used. The only ways you can really develop on board is just using Hidden Oasis, which you would love to keep for the healing, but you gotta not waste time anymore. You gotta start punching that face, and you already see a shield blast coming online.
Yeah, the blast shield is just gonna make this armor continue to sail, just continue to spiral out of control. And this isn't a board if you're the warrior. This isn't a board you want to have to like Warpath, Plague of Wrath. Like this isn't. That's not what those are for. You're just gonna take 11 and pass the turn. Wow, hero power pass. Okay, so we see a copy of Bees, a Ferocious Howl, and there's War Druid Lodi finally coming into hand.
Cards are low. How strange.
And they're getting pretty close to the Nomi time. They're getting pretty close to being able to just start generating board after board after board of 6/6 Grease Fire Elementals.
Both
But like you were
brawls?
saying, both brawls. They have both brawls and they have a Warpath Plague of Wrath, which will deal with 3 Nomi boards pretty much on their own. All right, Eternium Rover
Brawl.
comes down.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna brawl this board. Interesting.
Well, if it dies, they get armor. If they live, they win.
Yeah, well they don't get the. I guess they just want to clear that Lodi off, maybe. I guess they were just really hoping to high roll.
I mean,
that.
Warpath isn't gonna clear any of that.
No, it's not, and you probably want to save that to combo with Plague of Wrath. Okay.
It's a second shield. Oh my gosh. Expedition's pretty good right now. I don't think you play Nami until next turn.
Yeah, I would assume that Nomi is gonna be
Harn
probably the.
again.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Tending Torn comes down. They're stuck
Oh
with
my
a couple
gosh.
of awkward cards they don't want to duplicate.
They
They
did-
don't really want to duplicate this Bees. They don't really want to duplicate this Starfall, this
Yep.
Hidden Oasis. They would like their hand to be just Nomi, Floop, Elise, Zephyrus, and maybe one other card. All right, so now the quadruple Warpath is going to come down, clear off this whole board, and allow them to still hit that Almighty Blast Shield. I wonder if they skip the Blast Shield and go for the Frightened Flunky
Yeah, I
instead.
was thinking that. Yeah, I think you might actually want to do that so you can have some presence on board. No.
Nope, going for the armor. 2 mana, gain 7 armor. It's real good.
That's fine.
Okay.
One of the brawls were used, so now you just go ahead and start spamming some Namis.
Yeah, although I wonder, it seems like you want to be able to duplicate your Nami. I wonder if you this turn go for a Tyrion. I wonder if this is a Tyrion turn. They're actually just going to go ahead and throw away a Starfire or a Starfall. And so Elise was another one of the cards that was adjusted recently. She now duplicates her hand from left to right, not at random anymore. So Oslo is able to control the cards that they duplicate. Unfortunately for them, Nomi is going to be last in line to get duplicated. Okay, so I mean, if you're going to be brawling to remove boards, it seems like a safeguard.
Plus, you
Would
can
be
use
the
the Levery
safest.
Drone and discover a mech and maybe magnetize with it.
Yeah. Oh, they're actually going to go ahead and go for the most aggressively statted one, which is this Lord of the Arena. Defend the gate. Oh, they're also going to rebuy.
Whoa, I have
Conjured
never
Mirage.
smudged. Yeah.
I would assume that the choice is Abomination. But Conjured Mirage is very cool. That's a card that seems like would be good if they decide to do another round of buffs like they did for the Rise of the Mechs. Conjured Mirage I'd like to see made better because it's like a neutral ice block. And if it was better, it might actually get played in some combo decks. Oh, they're actually going to go for it. Neat. Gosh, I've never seen it played. That's going to be really cool.
Never even knew the card existed.
Yeah, it's never, as far as I can tell, it doesn't really seem to come up on Evolution somehow. All right, B's finally able to get played out of the hand, and this is a hand. So now, 2 Nomis, 2 Floops, and 2 Zephyrus the Greats available for the Oslo Knights. And so Stockholm now knows, Stockholm is well aware of what the hand is for Oslo. Oslo's played out all their entire deck, and they know that the hand is exactly Floop, Wrath, Hidden Oasis, Zephyrus the Great, and Chef Nami. No question. So now they just need to figure out how they want to sort of ration out their removal, knowing all of those boards that are coming. That means 4 Nomi boards are possible. It's just 2 Nomis and 2 Floops, all of which can be Nomis.
Here's another thing you could do as well, Bills, potentially, is also you can start just hitting some face. You have really good health. You're not going to hit fatigue anytime soon, much like the Druid. You can go face and just put pressure and get that fatigue even more deadlier.
Yeah, and you know that Oslo can't play their Wrath, because it unless they want to take an extra tick of fatigue damage.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna trade off these bees, and I would assume that it is. Oh, they're gonna play the Wrath. So brave, but it's Nomi time. It's 100% Nomi time. Clear the board, throw down a Nomi, and see what Stockholm has to deal with it. And the answer is Brawl or Warpath, Plague of Wrath. Both premium removal options are available for Stockholm. So just which one do they think is more is better to hang on to? And if they wanted to brawl, do they want to go ahead and throw this Conjured Mirage in there for a high roll opportunity? Have the Conjured Mirage win the brawl?
Yeah.
That would prevent them from using. Yeah, but that would prevent them from using their hero power this turn. So that maybe that's enough of a deterrent.
I guess they really do value the extra 7 health, which I don't blame at all.
Yeah. Or maybe it comes down now, so it's like an ice block.
Oh.
No, they're gonna take the 7. Yeah,
No,
it's
yeah.
it's more health than the Grease Fire Elemental even represents. Okay, Nomi number 2.
Let's see what you got. Come on down. The price is right.
Yeah. Da-na-na, da-na-da-da-da-da.
Do you smell something
Okay.
burning, Bills?
Yeah, I about 6 things burning right now.
Yeah,
There's-
roughly.
and just a jolly panda.
Technically 7 because the thing that's on his plate is burning as well.
Oh, is also burning. Yeah.
Oh, the hero
they-
power was used, so they get to keep on the warpath.
Oh, that's right. They
But
don't
the
have to
warpath
spend
doesn't help too much. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't help.
Yeah, so they're gonna be able to heal this turn, and then 4 mana Nomi. And once again, a board full of 6/6s. But Floop doesn't burn it quite as badly. He's only a 3/4, even when he's Nomi. And once again, the question is posed to Warrior. What do you have next? We've seen a Brawl, we've seen a Plague of Wrath. What else you got?
What
And-
if you just Elysiana?
This would be a good time for a master.
Just Elysion. I think you would die. Wait, is it 6 times 6? 36. Just in Grease Fire Elementals and Vernal Ancients. 36, 37, 38, 39 damage showing. They have to remove. So, yeah, they could Elysiana Shield Slam, and they would survive.
That's what I'm thinking, because I think you Elysiana for the brawl, because I don't know what you do here, because, like, basically, your other option is you could Warpath and hope you get the Boom hero power to clear next turn.
They're gonna Ice Block. they're gonna Conjured Mirage, spend out their Execute, draw another Rush minion. They've already spent their Ziliacs and both their Mummies, though. I don't think they have anything to draw. This is really just to have a 1/2 on board and hope that it matters. Which it will allow Warpath to clear one thing if they're able to keep a 1/2 on board.
Hey, Bills, what if
Black
I
Knight?
told you, well, actually, what if I told you that you could Black Knight and on top of that also potentially get Bloodlust?
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black Knight.
I mean, Black Knight just moves this taunt right on out of the way.
Yeah, so you trade the Zephyrs so that way you have space on board to play the other Zephyrs. No, you wouldn't have enough mana for the Bloodlust, so it wouldn't even offer it.
Yeah, it would offer you Savage Roar. Oh, but the Nomi, or the Floop Zephyrs costs 4. That's right. So Black Knight's going to come down, clear the way. All of this stuff is going to the face region, except for Nomi. I think Nomi's going to make a quick stop off at the 1/2. Nope, face.
No time to waste, like the face.
No time to waste.
Omega Assembly!
Okay, they need something really helpful. Although Stockholm now knows that there's a Floop Black Knight in hand, so they need 2 taunts. And they need them both to be very large.
They also have Delivery Drone.
This might be a Warpath turn. They're just going to spend all 5 Warpaths and
Die.
clear off as much as they can. And then, yeah, Zephyrs is going to come down, offer a Bloodlust, offer a Savage Roar, offer a Power of the Wild, offer that new 8 mana Druid card that gives everything +2/+2 and taunt. I forget what it's called. Oh no, actually, wait, that wouldn't be enough, would it? Wind Fury. Wind Fury
Fireball.
does it. Yeah, Fireball does it. Wind Fury does it. Lava Burst does it. There's all kinds of Zephyr's possibilities.
Zephyr just be living. Just say, hey, sup fam, I got you.
Yep, let me give you some lethal options. Gorehowl will do it. Wind Fury will do it. Avenging Wrath will do
style
it.
points.
Oh yeah. Ching 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 ching. And Grease Fire to the face. Also, if I got hit in the face with a Grease Fire, I would probably die instantly.
Yeah.
This,
Bill, something
gotta hand
tells
it-
me that this is not very realistic in a lot of ways.
And
Oh, dude, that was game 2. That was a long game.
yeah, Control Warrior against Nomi Druid. That was we've had a couple of long ones here. Quest Shaman versus Control Warrior versus Nomi Quest Druid. So what that leaves OTK Paladin and Highlander Mage for Stockholm. And up against this Nomi Druid. And we've seen in the past on House Rivalries, we've seen OTK Paladin do just fine. Yep, looks like it's going to be Paladin against Druid.
Yeah, Druid, however, has been able to just sweep the board the moment it starts doing it, so Oslo could potentially finally have that momentum going for them. It depends on what kind of hand we see. This is not a great hand right off the bat. There is Prismatic Lens, but that's about it. But that's like not until turn 4, and you might even just coin that out for turn 3. Meanwhile, what we see for the Druid, we see... I just see, like, honestly, a lot of great options. I actually would have liked to keep on to the Innervate just so you could play Crystal Merchant plus Innervate at the same time, because you could draw and do the quest.
The correct play here was actually Innervate out Crystal Merchant on turn 1.
Yes.
And then turn 2, you get the attack with it, you play your quest, you get the card draw. I learned that from Valular, actually.
Yes, because of this game. We learned that all together.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that's just an order of operations I hadn't considered before. But especially in this situation where Paladin's not going to be pressuring you a lot. In this situation, if you're planning on playing the Worthy Expedition anyway, then maybe that's okay. But I think they top decked that. I don't think did they have that in their opening hand? I don't.
What?
The Worthy Expedition that they ended up playing on turn 2.
No, that was topped.
Yeah. So. But yeah, that really opened my eyes when Valular pointed that out. And isn't he on your squad?
He's in my esports organization.
Yeah.
It's part of
Very
attack
cool.
mode. Shout out to attack mode. He was also he was the leader of the Team Israel for Hearthstone Global Games.
That's right. That guy. He's got some Hearthstone chops.
Yeah, he does. He's also have taught and practiced with Hatul, which is like considered the most famous Israeli player, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
Because he
yeah, I
plays the
think you're right.
weirdest stuff and still wins.
He's the Kibler of Israel.
Yeah,
like-
I guess so.
Yeah, Kibler keeps trying to make Quest Warrior work. It's just like-
Yeah, Hatul kind of does that as well. But he's like,
Yeah.
he likes to do everything. He also likes to work with Paladin sometimes. He's like, you know what? This could work with Paladin. Why? Because you can, I don't know, summon a silver hand and then kill everything. It's like, what? How do you do that? And then he shows you how, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so quest complete. Druid of the Claw is really cool.
Wait,
4/6 charge.
Is that new card art? I've never seen it like that before.
No, it's been. I think it's only been in the game since Rage of the Firelands guy. Wow, Fandral Staghelm, the guy
Yeah.
who also gave you both choose ones. I forget what set he was in. He's been in Wild for a while
Pardon
now.
my ignorance.
No, this is it's been a long time since we've been able to see this particular card art. This is a throwback.
Wait, was that top decked? Is this in the deck competitively?
No, that came off the Worthy Expedition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see the time. What am I thinking about? Okay.
But it's a pretty high pressure minion for turn 5, and it has full bore charge, not just rush. So it gets in for its 4. And now Stockholm has to decide how they want to answer this recurring 4 damage, staring them down right now. They're sitting at 9 cards in the hand, so they're going to go ahead and spend a Consecrate as well as the remaining charge of their True Silver Champion to just take this card that this discovered card. It's not even one of the real threats in the. It's not, it's one of the threats that is generated. It's not. You're not dealing with the index scenarios, for example. You're not dealing with the in-deck Oasis Surger.
Right,
that was
right.
that was 6 mana, or that was a Consecrate and a half a True Silver to deal with a 1 mana card for the Expedition. All right, War Druid Lodi's going to go ahead and come on down. We see Oslo just really trying to apply the pressure and remove the board as hard as possible because they don't want their Lodi. They don't necessarily need the spell power off their Lodi. They just need it. They just need its presence. Because Paladin will just win the game if they get to play the game long enough. They will just win the game.
That's what OTK stands for.
Mm-hmm.
One turn kill.
And unless Oslo is able to hit like a bunch of armor and a bunch of health gain, and somehow survive 2 rounds of being comboed. It's tricky. It's a tricky proposition at best. You need to have a lot of armor.
Yeah,
and
you
then
literally
you
need
to be able
Nourish into Ferocious Howl.
Yeah. Your Ferocious Howls have to be huge, and then you still have to be able to heal after you get comboed once, and you have to heal over 25.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tall order for any deck.
Tall order, but Druid could certainly do it. It is just a matter of how much you high roll, though, like you said. I don't know, Bills. I feel like OTK Paladin is going to get there at the end of the day, because while they can produce invisible threats, these draws have been really inconsistent for the Druid, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've missed their turn 6 Nourish. They, you don't want to Starfall a Blood Mage Thalnos and a Novice Engineer. They're going to go ahead and swipe face. They're going to take this spell power while they've got it and actually deal a strong 9 damage to Paladin's face and actually mill a Shrink Ray.
That's not the end of the world because it's not one of the Holy Wraths, thank goodness, but that's like one way of dealing with your board. Now that's like one less thing.
Yeah, seeing that get removed. Like you said, it's not like it bricks their combo. Oslo would have very much liked for that to have been a Shirvala, but yeah, taking away one of their 2 just really strong removal options. Actually, they're playing 2 copies of Shrink Ray and 1 copy of Equality. So this one has even more removal than previous iterations that we've seen in House Rivalries. I wonder what they cut to make room for the second Shrink Ray. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, a Shrink Ray is gone, and so if Oslo is ever able to make a big board, just one of the ways that Stockholm could remove it is already gone, already dealt with. Don't have to worry about it.
Wonder if you
And
bees.
so- Sorry?
I was just saying, wonder if you bees.
Yeah.
Defender.
Bees would let you clear off that Crystal Smith Kangor, and they're already at 30 health, so the healing doesn't matter. Could also just bees the Archer, and then you would get 3 bees. They're going to Starfall, which will prevent them from being able to bees, but maybe they just want to be able to play out this Anubisath Defender. Yeah, clear the board again. Anubisath. This Lodi, you can't tell from looking at the Paladin's health total right now on account it's 30, but this Lodi has done a lot of damage over the course of this game.
It really has. It's gotten a lot of value just existing, and it's like, this is so weird. It's like, wow, this Lodi's been around, and you can see it.
Yeah, it's not snickering like an evil totem.
Yeah.
She's out there. She's biting people.
Yeah. It's like, what? You want me to fight?
Yeah. This isn't what I usually do, but okay.
Okay, I just seriously hang out in the back and to make things really strong, but I mean, if you say so.
Yeah. I would assume we're gonna see True Silver this turn just to deal with the Lodi. Do they have enough hand space to lens? I guess so. They wouldn't have just lensed into another burn. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, sitting on 9. Sitting on 9 cards in hand right
That's
now.
pretty good. Nurse, there we go. It's been a while.
Hey, yeah, Oslo.
Ooh, do you
Probably
actually?
pretty
Do you force out board clear with the scenarios, or do you just go?
I would like to play the Scenarios this turn just to get because they've demonstrated that they would like to apply pressure as directly as possible, and the Scenarios allows them to go ahead and push an additional 5 damage to the face this turn, and requires a reaction from Paladin. I mean, Nourish is still amazing, right? Nourish still lets you do other stuff. So you would spend down 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you wouldn't even be able to play the Hidden Oasis. So yeah, they're gonna go ahead and play the Cenarius, get this extra 5 damage, moving forward. Present another. It's another one of those boards. It's another board in a box.
It's one of those
This
things.
one's just a Centaur.
Hello, Centaur. How are you?
Yeah, the Zephyrus is now live, so that's represents another piece of premium removal for the Paladin. It can come up with, a Tyrion. It can make a Tyrion. It can make a Twisting Nether. Yeah.
If they do it now, they do get Cinderstorm, which is not bad. Or Flame Strike, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Get the Flame Strike. So it looks like we're gonna see the second Shrink Ray gonna get committed. The first one, of course, being milled, didn't actually get to do anything. But this is gonna fully clear the board. It's also pushed Shirvala all the way down to 2 mana, so only 1 or 2 spells before Shirvala costs the requisite 0 for full combo activation. And they only have 1 mana, so they're just mousing over stuff, I guess, pretending like they have a Crystology in their hand, because that's the only 1 mana cards that they have left in their deck. They played the Elven Archer already.
Or just using the time to just, like, think of something.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yours finally comes in. The first Sal is going to be pretty big. They got both of them. That's a lot of armor.
Yeah, they can gain 14 armor this turn.
Well,
how much armor?
Do you maybe hold on to it? Do you play 1 Ferocious Howl, hold on to it, get the second Nourish?
Yeah, I actually don't know what. It does. I mean, thus far, it doesn't seem like Oslo, because they pretty much just played a 6/6 this turn for 6 mana. They did heal all the way to 30, so if they are able to hit that second Nourish, like you said, they can gain a lot of armor. But it seems like they're just really interested in developing board pressure and just preventing this Paladin from being able to execute its game plan.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Let's see. Power of the Wilds, anything else that can buff it? There's no more buffs from Cenarius. There's Worthy Expedition has been used both times very early into the game, so Power of the Wilds all they really have to make things even bigger, so we really just gotta start just pushing naturally.
Yeah, I don't think they've had to, and they're missing a couple of their, high tempo cards. Looking at Oasis Surger, I don't think they've played any of those yet. Guardian of Kings allows them to heal for 6. They're gonna Black Knight the 6/6 though. It's just so efficient. 6 mana deals 6, and you get a 4/5. Again, it's no Omega Devastator, right? Omega Devastator would have done that for 4 mana, but it's not bad.
Well, it's a Zephyrus will always just get you exact mana stuff, so it's just like.
Yeah, and it's not allowed to do other set stuff. For the basic and classic set, Black Knight's about as big.
Nourish!
Okay, there's the Nourish.
Nourish into Ferocious Howl is just gonna make things live a lot longer if you wanted to, but they might do just Starfall now, and Nourish next turn ain't bad.
I wonder if they're gonna develop their Crystal Merchant this turn. They wouldn't get a draw off it. They would just give them a 1/4 on the board, but that might allow them to get additional draw next turn. No, they're gonna hold on to it. Essentially giving their Ferocious Howl +1 armor.
Cheval's ready, the OTK is pretty much good to go.
Yeah, just need to draw out this deck. Need to hit those Acolytes of Pain, Novice Engineers and stuff. Oh, I guess they played both Novice Engineers.
Yeah, 2 is away.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards in hand. Bees will mill them. But they have both Holy Wraths, both Bankers, and Shirvala in hand already, so their deck actually does not matter.
I think it's over.
OTK Paladin just needs to hit the bottom of their deck and survive. And so Oslo Knights need to figure out if there is any way. How many cards are left in the Paladin deck? That's looking pretty thin.
It's like 2 cards left.
Is it? It's 2?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I just checked like a second ago.
Nice. So yeah, so this is going to draw both cards, and then Stockholm can begin comboing. And so now we're going to see Oslo attempt to set up a situation where they can stack a bunch of armor such that when they get comboed the first time, Hidden Oasis heals them out of range and puts the Paladin under so much fatigue pressure. Is this enough? I actually haven't I mean, Paladin's gonna heal
25
for
plus
7.
25 is 50.
Yeah, and so they're gonna get sent down. You know, we can just watch it. We can just watch this magic happen because the druid is going to be able to heal for 12, and it's not going to matter. True Silver is going to push this whole thing out of range. So that because both Ferocious Howls have been played. Yeah, you're right. It's over. This is Victory Paladin. They can even just time out this turn if they're feeling nervous for some reason, because this will set the druid all the way down to 11. They'll heal for 12.
They might just
which will be
force the timeout just so that way. Oh no, it's just gonna hero power for.
Yeah, get that extra 1/1 in there, but there's no. They need to heal for 14 to die. They need to heal for 14 to just get set to 0. They need to heal to 15 and clear. They need to heal by 15 and clear the board to survive another Shirvala hit.
No problem.
And they've got a lot of stuff going on, but they don't quite have the recovery needed. They're gonna run all the numbers though. They're gonna see if they can find a way out of this particular dilemma, this particular pickle, this particular quagmire, this particular conundrum.
This particular. I give up.
Yep, this particular jam.
This particular problem.
Yep. This particular. Okay. Oasis Surger. What card are they looking for off Zephyr's the Great? Mark of the Wild, Shadow Word Death. Nope, they're gonna leave the game.
Okay. Which is my suggestion. My suggestion is for you to leave now and go on into the next game.
Yeah, maybe hit the bricks there,
Yeah,
Druid.
Yeah, your wish is the red button right over there.
Bottom right, buddy.
Yeah.
So, where's the bottom right? Right over there. Bottom
click,
right.
click escape and be done with it.
Yeah. All right. So that means we're gonna see Paladin continuing onward against. So what does that leave? Zoo.
Oh boy.
Right? So it's gonna be. Did I do all that right?
Yes,
So,
it
yeah,
is
warrior,
because
warrior,
both priests are banned.
That's right. So Zoo Warlock coming in. It has to win against both this OTK Paladin and it has to win against Highlander Mage. And if they're able to do that, if Oslo is able to navigate both of those matchups, they'll be they'll be able to take home the W. But that seems pretty tough. Being able to, because there's a lot of stuff inside Highlander Mage that is designed to blunt aggression. It's got Frost Nova, Flame Ward, Bone Wraith, Arcane Keysmith, all the different mage stuff. But maybe this Paladin can get there for Stockholm. If Stockholm is able to navigate this particular matchup against the Zoo, they will go ahead and take this series 3-1.
Pyromancer in the Mulligan is also pretty good. I mean, one of the things I was going to say is like the Mulligan has to be pretty much a lot of board clear options while they buy some time to get their OTK online. The biggest thing is that I don't know if it's the same, almost the same thing as like what we saw with it is, but with one less Sea Giant.
Yeah, they're also playing the Evil Recruiter. So that's a 3-mana, very high threat level spike. They're actually playing a 3-mana 8/8 as long as there's a lackey on board. Evil Recruiter is the 3-mana destroy a lackey, summon a 5/5, and then it itself is a 3/3.
This is very good.
And it's quite good. Although interestingly, like you were saying, the last Zoo did not play that one. So this is coming at it a little bit from a little bit of a different angle, but the goal is still the same. Tons of board pressure, kill them till they're dead. And OTK Paladin can clear several boards between Pyromancer Shrink Ray, Pyromancer Equality, Shrink Ray, Pyromancer Small Spells, all of the healing that we saw last game. Poor Lodi probably did 30 damage between the spell power and her just face attacks. And Paladin was still at 25 health at the end of the game. But this is a start. If you are a Zoo Warlock, you have your egg, you have your Knife Juggler, and
You're
have
happy.
a couple of 1-drops. Yeah, to get everything rolling forward. And none of that removal that they're able to True Silver champion this turn. That'll enable them to clear the Knife Juggler. But They can't clear both the egg and the Naga that comes out of the egg. So that's just a constant evil genius and Grim Rally threat. Just target threat. All right, Oslo picks up a Sinister Deal, which enables them to actually discover a lackey. If you thought generating lackeys at random was good, discovering a lackey, if you want one in particular.
Oh, Faceless. Oh, Ethereal is also pretty good as well.
Gonna go ahead and put a Neferset Thrasher on the board.
I feel like creating invisible threats would always be good. Like a Faceless would have been fine, but what do you think they want to try to discover with the Ethereal? Because I'm trying to think about it. It's just more draw.
They're not playing any copies of Soulfire, so maybe they're looking for that last little burst of burst damage from hand.
Yeah.
They might be looking for maybe a Spirit
Solarium?
Bomb later on. Second copy of Solarium potentially.
Yeah, just to have that earlier in the hand, so that way you can start making a plan, because they don't know until when they get Solarium, but if they knew they had Solarium now, that would help them figure out how to value things a lot more.
Oh, this is going to be cool. We're going to see the lackey come down, and then the evil recruiter going to turn that. So the lackey's going to come down, generate a spell. And
or
then
not.
they're actually, no, they're not going to do that. Never mind. They're going to wait till later, is Oslo.
Okay.
So maybe this is a Knife Juggler lackey turn. Although it seems like you want to hold this lackey until you can definitely hit it with evil.
Knife Juggler Grim Rally?
Knife Juggler. Okay, Knife Juggler lackey. Demon Fire. Another Grim Rally. Yeah. Grim Rally, you got 2 of them in your deck. Go ahead and throw a 3rd one in there. And they're actually going to go ahead and coin out a Grim Rally.
I like it. They swung with the one that they're going to sacrifice, so they at least get that 1 extra damage, and now they're going to swing with everything else.
Yeah. And once again, this is a board with some high threat level stuff on it. The Knife Juggler, you can't sleep on the Knife Juggler. It'll just, yeah.
This feels bad, but do you maybe, like, Pyromancer Timeout? Or, no, you could actually Pyromancer Prismatic Lens, and that should be fine. Or actually, I don't know.
Yeah, this might be...
Actually, do you just Novice to hope you get Consecration?
Maybe. Yeah, this might be a Novice and then just draw Consecrate. The correct play here might be draw Consecration. You could also try to Prismatic Lens into it. You know, if you Prismatic Lens and Consecrate and Baleful Banker switch costs, for example, that gives you a 2-mana Consecrate.
I don't like that gamble.
Yeah, I mean, it's no matter what you do, it's a gamble. Let's see what's in here. Crystal Smith.
Oh my God!
Consecrate. That'll do it as well. That'll let you consecrate this board if you want. Doesn't deal with the Knife Juggler, so they're actually just going to go ahead and keep drawing.
Okay. That was pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is going to be punished because Grim Rally.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take this Ethereal Lackey and then either run face or clear this 1/1 and then turn it into a 5/5. And then that's going to get 2 knife throws. Grim Rally could potentially turn another one of these 2/2s into even more board buffs. The Direwolf Alpha adds even more damage. The Abusive Sergeant, they can Abusive Sergeant, Grim Rally the Sergeant. They have all kinds of options to just maximize the amount of face damage they get off of this turn. All right, this leads me to believe that they're probably going to Abusive Sergeant, potentially Direwolf Alpha. They might be able to get the Sea Giant on the board this turn if they want to, though they may hesitate to go too wide just because they know there's a discounted spell in hand. They don't know what it is, and they haven't seen any of the big board clears yet. All right, it is, like you said, going to be a Grim Rally right on the Crystallizer, and going to go ahead and turn this 3/3 into a 5/5, get some more knife juggles. Sniped. Set him to 9.
All right. Well, no Shrink Ray per se. No way to get the attacker health smaller. So basically, I mean, let's see. Pyromancer Consecration. That's 3 damage. That's across the board. That's only gonna clear 2 of the minions. they have to heal in timeout here or something. Like, they need to just start getting rid of some things. They might actually just, like, Flash of Light, Hammer of Justice, use the Blood Mage, or actually, ooh, what are they doing here?
It looks like they're gonna use the Blood Mage Consecration.
Oh,
while
this does 4
Pyromancer
damage. This will
combo.
help clear most of it.
Yeah, this doesn't allow them to time out, which, like you were saying,
It does get
Not-
them a draw, though.
Yep, gets them a draw.
Equality.
This 5 damage aimed at their dome. This is lethal, isn't it? 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they're 1 off.
They are 1 off. But they could hero power...
Yeah, there's so many. There are so many draws. That's not one of them. But
May as well get them to 1, though, right?
yeah, set them. It looks like they're gonna hold the Dire Wolf as well. That's kind of surprising. Okay. Oh, they're gonna look for a 2 damage lackey. That'll do it too. Kobold
Oh
lackey.
my god!
Wow, swing and a miss. That is.
Big miss.
Yeah.
I mean, this won't even keep it alive because of equality.
Yeah, the equality was a pretty big draw.
But do they hold on to that actually for the giant?
That's a good
Ooh,
question.
actually, you know what? They could just trade consecration. Perfect.
Yep, trade consecration will do it. They can also flash of light,
Because
which will whirlwind. Oh, but then yeah, they have to. Yeah, they would have to flash of light their pyromancer if they want to do that. Looks like they're also considering the equality.
equality would be good because that keeps up the consecration. I think though you want to keep the equality for the sea giant though.
Yeah, I guess they're just hoping they draw a shrink ray on time. At this point, they need to think about, is healing better or is becoming invincible better? Because Leroy off the top, any kind of burn. They actually don't have any burn. Hell, there's Leroy. Wow. With the read. I think you...
Did somebody call my name?
Yes, I've been summoned. Ooh, the diseased vulture coming in represents a lot of threat. And they're still going to be able to activate it with the crystallizer. Even though they spent their life tap this
come out. Whoa.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking like Paladin is in some trouble. They can Crystal Smith Kangor Flash of Light this turn for 6 mana, which will heal them for 8 and give them a draw, leaving them with only 3 mana remaining. So if they hit their timeout, they could play it.
Yeah, that's very true.
If they're playing for timeout, though, they might just want a Flash of Light in case they get like a Shrink Ray. The problem is, Diseased Vulture works no matter what its health is, right? Like, it doesn't, as long as Diseased Vulture is alive and unsilenced, it's a threat.
It's gonna bring its friends.
Yeah, just all of his friends. Like, I didn't invite all of these people to this party. Yeah, but
They're cool.
come on.
Yeah.
Look how cool they are.
Yeah. I mean, this guy can get you taller if you punch yourself in the face.
Yeah. All right, so we're actually going to see the Holy Wrath to deal with the Hench Clan Thug. Oh, that would have won the game. That would have, if they had aimed that at the face, that would have won the game.
That would have been great. But this is big, though. They get the Shirvala either way, and that was a huge draw, so now they're alive.
Yeah, they're alive. They're up to 13. Their combo... Okay, wait. Can Oslo win the game this turn? 6, 7, 8, 9.
No.
9's less than 13. They need a... What could they draw anything?
Well, the only thing they can do, really, is to guarantee that the Paladin can't win because they just played the only Shirvala they have. They have no banker to replicate it, so this was the only Shirvala they had.
Yeah, that's true. This is such an odd board state because they... Like, Oslo doesn't want to heal Paladin for another 7, but then again, is okay. No, this is going. This
What?
is
They didn't attack the Leroy?
No, they're leaving that Shirvala up.
Oh
they don't
my
want to heal.
gosh, that's a.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Wait, hold on. 7 plus the Hammer of Wrath. That's lethal.
7, 8, 9.
Plus the
10,
Consecration.
11, 12. No, they're still short because they have 14 life.
No, because of the Hammer of Wrath plus Consecration, it's like 5 plus 7. You're right.
Yeah, it's close though. It's very close, and they want to send the Shirvala face. They definitely. Although I don't know if they will.
I think they want to draw for Baleful Banker.
They might clear. They might clear this 3/3. They might draw. Yeah, if they hit a Baleful Banker, then their Crystology doesn't quite get there. They can Crystal Smith Kangor and heal for 14. That's got to be good enough.
Alright, well, they guaranteed that Shirvala lives next turn by doing that, at least. Or at least almost guarantees it. They forced out their Leroy because of this. Oh, man, this is...
This is a
Oh
turn.
my god!
Paladin gets there. Man. You know, that Paladin deck has just got so much more game than I give it credit for. It's got a chance all the time. It seems like it always has a chance if you can, and it feels like one of those decks that if you can understand, if you recognize different board states really effectively, you can just pilot it to victory
That
through
was
thick
way
and
too
thin.
stressful.
That was a thin game. That was.
Oh my gosh, Shirvala could have killed, but they went for it, but they got the Shirvala, they managed to trade, they managed to top this, so now they were able to heal, the King were able to double the healing, this was...
Yeah.
And they didn't use... I am so shocked they did not trade out... If they killed that Shirvala with the Leroy, yes, you would have given them 2 1-1s, but really in the span of things, you would have won that game because you still have the Sea Giant.
Yeah, I wonder, because I mean, they hadn't seen a Shrink Ray yet. They had only seen one Pyromancer. That was definitely a major branching paths point, right? Like that was where they decided they didn't have the long game against the Paladin.
Yeah, I only can imagine that, like, you would want to get rid of the Shirvala as quick as you can. They didn't baleful banker it. Quick, kill it, you know? But, you know, fair enough. I gotta admit, I'm impressed. It's, I don't know what to say except just, like, that was a good game. That was a very good game,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, just, I think it was just, like, kind of, like, not one misplay after the other, but it was just, like, a lot of close calls. It was either this or that. And, honestly, good showing overall.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Oslo and Stockholm, and congratulations to Stockholm.
Yeah,
piloting. Yeah,
It's their first win on the board, so that's good. They're now officially 1-2, so hey, they're making it somewhere. So shout outs to them. And you know what, Bills? I think we're gonna call it there. I think we're gonna call it for now. Thank you to our wonderful sponsors, 24-Hour Fitness, GameStop, and Metro Reno. Next Thursday we'll be back, and then also stick around. We also reached affiliate. Thank you, everybody. We're going to be releasing some emotes, and people subscribe. If you subscribe, we're going to do like a lot of cool things and a bunch of other stuff. But thank you again, all the same. Be sure to come back this coming weekend, because this coming weekend is the playoffs for House Rivalries. The top 12 have been confirmed, and we have some interesting new organizations finally coming in, some interesting stories that is coming out, and I'm honestly super excited for that. Like, I love Nations Division, don't get me wrong. I've been enjoying this a lot, like nice weekly content, but I mean, honestly, it's just been House Rivalries itself. Like, the playoffs are coming up. We have like so many interesting stories. Area 52 and Knox Sports both qualifying, even though they just had to play their last game to get the record, but because of the win rates that were calculated, they managed to get it through both. We also
they were playing against each other.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Gamers Origin and Epic Esports have both made playoffs this time. Epic Esports, though, becoming the runner-up of Season 2 and made top 4 in Season 1. Now they're like really close. So it was like, you know, Season 1 they made top 4, Season 2 they made the play. You know, they were runner-ups. What's the next season? Are they going to be able to make it? They got the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's right. Putting Nordavind in at the number 4 seed.
Indeed. It's crazy.
Stage 5 Gaming made it this time.
Stage 5 Gaming, yes, this was their first ever season. So this was like, this is actually one of the 2 organizations for the first time that actually has made it that's actually made it to playoffs within the first season. Area 52 being the only other one. Actually, no, never mind, that's a lie. There's actually 3 orgs. There's Area 52, Stage 5, and Knox Sports. And then Attack Mode, they were the NA champions, and then they made playoffs and like top 8, and then now they're back again. Korax is one that was there last season, didn't make it. Swagoi has never made it out of Swiss, and now they are the number 2 seed. That's crazy. And like, they didn't have that big of a roster swap. As a matter of fact, none of the members left. They had add-ons, and it's just interesting to see. Like, really good show to them. TKA TTW, there's nothing really crazy about them, except TKA is a cool org. Tickling Tentacles as well was a very cool collaboration. That's the name of TTA. So it's like it's a collaboration org between these two, with Dr. Gyros, which shout outs to them, by the way. And the only fun fact about them is that technically one of the players in TKA was a runner-up in season 1 with Royal Blue Esports, and then moved on to be part of TKA. Yeah, it's just a like really interesting story. Seven Force Club also last season didn't make it past Swiss, almost like didn't quite make it for the win. Kind of the same story, but those are like it's really cool to see all these amazing orgs come back and like still keep trying, and like I'm excited to see what the players are going to be. Who knows, maybe we'll have a back-to-back champion. It would be interesting, but like seriously, it's really cool to see a lot of returning names as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if Nordavin's here to protect their belt, see if they can go back. That would be an achievement, right? Like a big multi-week Swiss season, 2 in a row make it to the playoffs, and then 2 in a row win. Like that would be unprecedented.
I mean, they made even though they got 4th place, they do automatically go into top 8. They don't have to do the play-in games. So
right.
So, and they said that if they make it to Sunday, they promise to bring Hunter Ace. So there's, I think there's like, they're planning to use Hunter Ace as like the guaranteed win card or whatever.
Yeah, you revealed my trap card.
Yeah, exactly. So first they're going to use Yarla, and then they're going to switch it out for Hunter Ace, and it's just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, that's been it from us, though. Thank you very much. Thank you to Bills for being a wonderful caster and friend, as always, for casting with me. Thank you for doing this back-to-back days. This was so much fun.
Dude, thanks for having me. Had a great time.
No problem. Thank you to also our new sponsors, the Ziliax Protection Agency. If you need any sort of form of witness protection, then Ziliax is your go-to bot, mech,
Yep.
robot,
Magnet buddy.
magnet buddy. And I'm in Benny. If you want to follow their social media, Bill's was right here, over there, right down there, yeah. And be sure to drop a follow on our Twitter at HouseRivalries, also on the Twitch as well. And be sure to look out for other updates about upcoming events that we will be producing very soon. We have a lot of big announcements coming up for the season of 2020, so don't go anywhere. Well, do go somewhere. Do go eat and stuff like that. But do come back soon. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday.
Heart.